here's Josh Getzoff and Phil Bourne.
It is time for Pittsburgh Penguins hockey, and tonight the Pens take a 5-game win streak into the first of a 5-game homestand at PPG Paints Arena as they meet the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we welcome you aboard for this one tonight, everybody. Finally, for a little bit of a stay this time, back in our perch on the Mike Lang media level, and alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourne, I am Josh Getzoff. Penguins coming off a 4-1 win last night in Philly. That was win number 5 in a row. They're now 11-7-3 on the year and ready to, what they hope to further accelerate forward here in Pittsburgh. But the Leafs may have something to say about that. Toronto 12-5-5 on the season. They won in their last trip here 2 Tuesdays ago, and their 4-3 win in Minnesota last night was their second victory in a row overall. It's the regular season series finale between these two teams, and with that, we bring in the old 2-9er Phil Bourne. And Borky, yeah, we can put the suitcase away. You can get comfortable here on home ice, and maybe, in a way, comfortable doesn't necessarily mean a letdown. Comfortable means an upward trajectory for what the Penguins have been able to do leading into this homestand.
When you were just talking, it reminded me of a conversation I had yesterday with the Hall of Famer Mike Lang.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he reminded me, and he's bang on. Here's a guy who never played the game before, but a lot of times he thinks like a player. That we've been on the road so much, Josh, and we just played on the road in Philly yesterday, right?
Yep.
Last night, yesterday was 5:30 start, whatever you want to call it. When you play the next day at home, you don't really have time to think about being at home. You haven't had that time, which can be dangerous, right? When you exhale, you unpack everything, right? Honey, do this, and honey, do that, right? You got the list going. You got all the dirty gotchis. You got to watch the whole thing, right?
Yep.
This is like almost like another road game, which could be a good thing for the Penguins because you're dialed, right? You're still dialed in. You won't be able to exhale until you get the day off tomorrow, okay? And then that next home game, that's the one that you worry about just a little bit, right? But this one here, this is a team you're playing third time in how many days?
15.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
You know them. They know you. You know them. You've built some good, healthy hatred with individuals or certain lines or matchups, whatever you want to call it. But you're right. The Penguins, they went through the soup, right? 7 straight games. And sometimes if you can come out of the soup and the air is clear and clean like it is for the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's like you're on the Autobahn, okay? You've gone from monster truck mudding, right? Off-road mudding, to now you're in the Ferrari on the superhighway, man, and you just want to breathe that clean air. That's where the Penguins are right now. They feel blessed. They feel lucky to be healthy, but they also realize this is a really good league, and you can't take anybody lightly, even for one game.
When you talk about healthy, they're also clicking on all cylinders right now. That'll happen when you win 5 games in a row, and they've been getting it from everywhere. 12 different goal scorers. They've scored on the power play. They've scored 5-on-5. They've gotten goals from the back end. They've gotten goals from forwards, and that last topic is what I want to finish and begin this next thought on, the forward group, particularly the fourth line, because yesterday they were the stars in the win against Philadelphia. Ryan Poehling, Teddy Bluger, and Josh Archibald, but it wasn't just one game. This has been kind of a ripple effect throughout the Penguins lineup that these guys have been able to produce since being put together, and that's something the Penguins have not had the last couple of years. And yeah, it's only a spurt of, a handful or more of games, but it's a positive step forward on that front.
Okay, folks, I'm going to take you from in your car listening right now. I'm going to put you in the Penguins locker room. You're on the line. You're either Poehling, Bluger, or Archibald. What are you saying to your mates right now? Boys, let's do it again. That was fun, man. That was fun in Philly. Let's do it again. But that's not what we're counting on. We're counting on for energy, physical, momentum changers, kill penalties, all those little things. Let's do that really good tonight, because what happens in that locker room when you have a special game like you did from your fourth line? By the way, they were the 3 stars of the game, all 3 of them, right?
Yeah, right.
How often does that happen? One line. But it motivates the top guys. The top guys feel like, wow, we didn't have to be us. But now we have a Saturday night home game against the Leafs. The building is packed to the gills, man. And this is where the stars shine. But they feel a little bit lighter and freer because they don't feel like the pressure's on them to score.
Yeah, those guys combined for 7 points last night in Philadelphia. So the Penguins now turn their attention to the Toronto Maple Leafs here tonight. And really, when you look at this Penguins team, another part of their overall strong performance here lately has been some stability, particularly on the back end. Now, I think when we came into this year, everyone had it written in Sharpie, Brian Dumoulin and Chris Letang. It was a slow start for both of them to start the year. So Mike Sullivan had to figure out how to make things work, and he's landed on something right now that is working with Marcus Pettersson alongside Letang, P.O. Joseph steadily in the lineup on the left side of Jeff Petrie with the right side, And then that third pairing of Brian Dumoulin and Jan Ruda, it's working for Pittsburgh right now.
Two guys make this happen. And that is the play of Jan Ruda, because he has helped stabilize Brian Dumoulin. But the play of Marcus Pettersson, because he has replaced Dumoulin, and he has been the yin and the yang for Chris Letang. Right? He stabilized Chris Letang for the most part. And Mike Sullivan said, and it kind of raised my eyebrows, but when I started thinking about it, I was like, wow, Sully, you're right. The most consistent defenseman. He didn't say Chris Letang. He didn't say Jeff Petrie. He said Marcus Pettersson. So there you go. You put Petey up there with Chris Letang, and all of a sudden, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. All the pieces, they start to just snap right into place. And now there is a nice chemistry, a nice flow between the deep pairings.
We talk about deep pairings. Let's flip it to the other end of the ice, because the Toronto Maple Leafs are not exactly with that flow, not exactly with that overall health. Some of their key pieces, and I mean key, we're talking Morgan Riley, TJ Brody, a guy who's jumped in the sense of Jordy Ben and stepped up for them, is also out with injury. So Mark Giordano, the 39-year-olds, they're top pairing defenseman right now as they get ready for the Penguins here tonight. And maybe that's an area, as this game goes on, that can be exploited with two younger players back there in Matt Callowell and Victor Mete.
Well, if you want to put Giordano in your top four, you're right. When you're talking about Riley, your number one defenseman, right? Jake Muzzin's probably your number two defenseman. Let's throw Brody in there as your number three. Giordano is your four. Ben is probably your five. All of a sudden, Justin Holl, he's played 23 or more minutes in the last four. Mark Giordano, you mentioned he's 39 years of age. He's north of 20 minutes all the time. So this is where I think the rubber's going to hit the road in this game here. If the Penguins' game plan is to dump the puck in with a purpose, to pound the living snot out of the Toronto Maple Leafs defensemen, they're really going with four defensemen. They've got Sandin and Liljegren. They don't play the numbers like Giordano and Holl play. So you put a target on those two guys. Listen, if you pin the Toronto Maple Leafs in their end for some extended shifts, that's your best defense right there to keep Matthews and Marner and Nylander, guys like that, and Tavares, keep them out of the offensive zone.
You can't be a team that hinges yourself on a stat in the NHL and expect success. And by that I mean the Penguins have scored the first goal in each of their last 5 games. They've won all 5 of those games. I'm not saying if they score tonight that it's a guaranteed win, but when you think about what you just mentioned, with a bit of a depleted back end, Toronto's also on a back-to-back. They played in the Central Time Zone last night, by the way, in Minnesota. Does the first goal and maybe the Penguins getting that boost from it loom a little larger here tonight?
Absolutely it does. In back-to-back situations, I'd love to know those. That's an analytics stat.
Yeah.
You've got the hook in my mouth there, Josh. In back-to-back games, in the second game, who scores the first goal, what percentage wins the game?
Yeah.
Because, the tank is not full. So you're dipping into some reserves, especially in the third period. And to play catch-up hockey in this type of situation is tough for both teams.
Penguins have won the season series each of the last 2 times these teams have matched up in the regular season. They're both tied at 1 right now. Toronto won here, Pittsburgh won in Toronto earlier this month. 2 different kinds of games. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out here.
A good point. After that Philly win, the plane ride home, knowing we're going to be in the top 3, made you feel pretty good, right?
It did.
Guess what? Carolina won this afternoon, so you've dropped down into a wild card position, but you can get right back up there again with a big W here tonight.
Lots of pieces to the victorious Penguins puzzle of late. One of them a bit behind the scenes, as in head video coach Madison Nickel. We know that coaching staff and those secret weapons, as Mike Sullivan refers them to, have been a lot of the success for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're 3 for 4 on challenges this year, 12 of 13 since the 2021 season. So what's that whole process like? I asked Coach Nickel to walk us through it ahead of tonight's matchup against the Leafs.
Yeah, so at this level, we're fortunate enough to have the Hawkeye replay system. It's basically a replay system that has various different camera angles for us to look at live. CJ, my assistant, does a great job. He has eyes on that at all times while I'm watching the game. Goals scored. He already has basically checked the entry to know whether it was onside or offsides long before the puck ever enters the net. So we already know automatically if we're challenging for offsides or onsides. And then for goalie interference, obviously that's a little bit more tricky because the puck just went in. We'll take a look, radio to the bench, say, hey, we think there might be some goalie interference, and then we just try to... There is a lot of gray with that one, so we try to just attach parameters like, hey, we're fairly certain there's goalie interference challenge, or, hey, this one's close, we're going to leave it up to you, Sully, until he ultimately makes a final decision. We just try to give him the information that we're seeing live so he can make an informed decision.
A peek behind the curtain with Penguins head video coach Madison Nickel. It's the Pens and the Leafs, a Saturday night showdown in the Berg, and it's next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Say hello to the official lineup of your Pittsburgh Penguins. The Bronco, the Mustang, two legends in one on any team. Maverick, the newest hotshot, who handles the puck like a dream. Mach-E, just absolutely electric out there. And the built Ford Tough Enforcer F-150. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Bet Rivers Casino app has so many slots, your head will spin. There's the classics like 88 Fortunes and Jinji Baoshi, and new favorites like Dancing Drum Explosion and Hurricane Horse Coin Combo. Plus, right now, when you make a first-time deposit of $50 using code CASINO, you'll get $200 in free play. That's $200. Download the Bet Rivers Casino app today. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Pennsylvania only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. Presented by Rivers Casino Philadelphia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, Joe, nothing can replace the human touch. It's no secret that NSS Life touches lives every day, and you must be very proud.
Absolutely, Phil. We want everyone in our communities to know that you can count on us. Giving back is our way of life.
One of the largest fraternal life insurance companies in America with the human touch. That's NSS Life.
NSS Life, where family matters.
Referees tonight here in Pittsburgh are Pierre Lambert and Kelly Sutherland. The linesmen are Jesse Marquis and Travis Toomey as we turn our attention to the starting lineups. And for the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs and Sheldon Keefe's bunch, it will be Erik Källgren, 2-2-4. This will be his 10th game of the season and just his second start in the last 7 games. Penguins beat him in their only meeting earlier this year, a 4-2 win in Toronto. In front of him on the back end, Mark Giordano and Justin Hull. And up front, John Tavares, the captain, centers Calle Jarnkrok and Mitch Marner with the Leafs in their visiting road whites. Penguins in their home black sweaters, backstopped by Casey DeSmith tonight. 3-4-1 on the year, 2.88 goals against, 909 save percentage, game number 9 for him on the season this evening. Marcus Pettersson and Chris Letang on the back end. Sidney Crosby will center Jake Gensel and Ricard Raquel to start things off. It's Tavares and Crosby on the opening faceoff, brought to you by Number One Cochrane, and we are underway here on this Saturday night for the regular season series finale between the Pens and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Letang in his own end, ahead to Raquel, boots it to the blue line, kept in by the Leafs and lobbed out the center by Letang as it rattles back into the Toronto zone. Hull and Gensel collide there, picked up behind the net for Giordano. He's bumped there by Raquel. Rolls to the far circle, picked up by Tavares, glides it out to center for Calle Jarnkrok up on the top line. Across for Marner, a wrist shot looking back door for Jarnkrok, couldn't get his stick on it, and it sails to center ice. Austin Matthews with it there, quick pass ahead. He springs Marner and down the left wing to the forehand, shoots and scores! 40 seconds in, Pens caught in a change, and Mitch Marner makes him pay. It's 1-0 Leafs.
Well, there's just no way that should happen, Josh. Early on in the game, the Penguins have been so good in starts, but they shut the brain off here. Everybody went to the bench, and more times than not, they always leave a safety guy on the ice. He's the last guy to change. He waits to make sure everything's set on the ice, that there's not going to be this kind of breakdown. But everybody went to the bench, left Marner all by himself, and what a move he put on Casey DeSmith to freeze Casey DeSmith, drag it on the forehand around the left pad and deposit into the goal. 1-0 Leafs.
Last time the Penguins allowed the opponent to score first, the Maple Leafs, here 2 Tuesday nights ago. Toronto gets the first goal in this game. It's Mitch Marner's 6th of the season. They lead at 1-0. Here's Bluger in the attacking end. Curling in the near corner, a centering pass back to the point. Jumping and keeping that alive was Joseph. Centering pass from Poehling. Flutters in on Källgren. He fought it off and then jumped forward to freeze it at the far circle.
Josh, I'd be hard-pressed to give you an answer of when the last time I saw this.
I know what you're saying.
This many blue jerseys.
Yep.
At the PPG Paints Arena. maybe never. Maybe never. And just before the Marner goal, there was a lot of let's go Leafs. That is not going to sit well with the faithful here in Pittsburgh. I'm telling you right now. It might get a little nasty in the stands. I hope so.
Speak it into existence. We've said that about other things before. Face off to the right of Shalgren. Penguins control. A wrist shot from Dumoulin flutters wide. Mac Hollowell carries out for the Leafs. Passes forward to Zach Aston Reese. Scored his third goal of the season last night in Minnesota. Getting it past Marc-Andre Fleury. As it comes right wing for Brian Russ. Scooped out to the neutral zone. And a hand pass there in the neutral zone by the Leafs. Stops play a minute 31 in.
Zach Aston Reese coming to the Leafs on a tryout basis. And has found himself on a pretty effective line.
And the Penguins traded him to Anaheim in that Raquel deal last year. He had 2 goals in 52 games with Pittsburgh. Since then, he's played in 37 games combined with the Ducks and the Leafs, and he's got 6 goals.
Okay.
So he's...
I wish he had done that here. He might still be a Penguin, to be honest with you.
We know Mike Sullivan was a fan.
No, he absolutely was. He just went too many stretches where he'd have 1 in 27 or 2 in 35, and that was a tough one to swallow.
Or 2 in 52, like last year.
2 in 52.
Here comes Heinen over the line, right wing, inside the near circle. Backhand feed goes cross ice. Dumoulin left side. Picks it up on the forehand, throws it behind the net. Intercepted by Hull, gets it ahead to Pontus Holmberg. He finds Giordano, scoops it in the air to center. Bounces off the glove of Pierre Engvall and found by Dumoulin in his own end. He'll pass for Brock McGinn, slides it right wing for Jan Aruda. Over center, Red gains the line right side, shoots one wide of Shalgren. Tavares down low in his own zone for Timothy Liljegren. He's pressured by Raquel, spins off it, reverses course to the far side. Liljegren will backhand it to the near corner for Rasmus Sandin. Pops it up the near side wall, kept in by Letang. Bounces around out to the neutral zone, where Pettersson tries to steer the puck to his possession. It comes free on the near wall. Marner over the attacking line for Toronto. A goal already for 16 in white. Puck hops in on to Smith off the stick of Tavares. Good stop there as it's cleared all the way down by the Penguins. That's icing against Pittsburgh.
I'll keep an eye like I always do on faceoffs throughout the game and update you, but just to kind of tease that a little bit, Penguins are 10th in the league at 52.4%. The Leafs are right behind them at 51.7%. Chicago and Boston have been going back and forth for most of the season. Chicago at 56.9, they're number 1. The Bruins 56.2. And I mentioned this a couple games ago. Pulling up the rear are the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche at 44%.
Here's Victor Mete controlling off the draw for Toronto. A centering pass skips wide to the far wall. Austin Matthews tracks it down there. Carries out through the neutral zone. Matthews backpedaling in his own end. Picked up his 13th assist of the year, setting up Marner for that opening goal. As he lets Victor Mete corral it in his own zone. Former Ottawa Senator and Montreal Canadian. Doing his tour of Canada now with the Leafs. Passes forward for Matthews over the line. He'll flip it right wing for Willie Nylander. Atop the far circle. His pass. Pinball's out the center. Chance here. Right wing for Willie Nylander. Atop the far circle. His pass. Pinball's out the center. Chance here for the Pens. It's Zucker after the loose puck. Down the left wing at the far circle. Carries it in on the backhand. Couldn't tuck it in because he was tied up. And a penalty coming up against Victor Mete with 3 minutes and 27 seconds gone in the first.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it right there.
Toronto 98 minor penalty for holding.
That was a race. That was a 50-50 puck, I consider, and the great job of Jason Zucker to get to the loose puck. Victor Mete, who can skate pretty well as a defenseman, got back and angled off. But what Jason Zucker did here, he had a pretty good feeling when Mete got to him right around the top of the circle. He could have easily been an easy out. Just pushed into the corner. Instead, he bulldozed his way towards the goal and got himself in a shooting position, knowing he probably wasn't going to get a good chance off, but figured at that point, if I can't get a good chance on goal, let me see if I can draw a penalty. He got the latter.
IGS Energy power play for Pittsburgh going to work right now. They control off the draw. The 2 defensemen set there again with Letang and Petrie at the points. Here's Letang, left side to Petrie. A shot fought off by Shalgren, moving left to right. Comes near side for Giordano. He'll try to clear. Knocked down by Gensel. Malkin to the puck. Drives it back to the point for Petrie. Far circle for Malkin. His pass knocked down by Marner.
No Crosby out here.
Marner collects it. Feeds it far side for Hull. That's right. It's Gensel, Rust, and Malkin up front. Do we see Sidney Crosby on the bench? I actually do not know if I see him down there.
No, he's not. It could be equipment repair. He's very, very finicky.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it, yeah.
With the steel, with the skates, with the sharpening.
I think the cool kids would say he's different. Different like that. Leafs in their own zone. It's cleared all the way down by Hull.
I'll keep an eye on the bench, Josh. But 98% of the players in the league use this new system where you just pull a trigger on the plastic holder and your steel comes out and you can put new steel in. Sid was trying that out at the end of last year, actually in the offseason. They thought he was going to switch over to it. If he did not, that means he has to take his skate off and get it sharpened and then put it back on again. And maybe that's why he's not out here.
Raquel in the attacking end on the power play. Back to the point for Carter. He'll rip one. That's blocked by David Camp. And he bats the rebound the length of the ice. Carter has to hustle back to get to the puck. Aston Reese was chasing after it as well. 5 minutes gone here in the first period. 30 seconds left in the IGS Energy power play. As Dan Heinen comes over the attacking line. Right side to Jeff Carter. A wrist shot. Blocked. Rolls back behind the net. Carter boots it to the far side for Raquel. Up top to P.O. Joseph. Back to Raquel. Left wing. On the far wall. Wrister is blocked by Hull. He'll pick up that loose puck. Try to clear. Knocked down by Heinen. Good keep at the line by Joseph. But it's stolen by Engvall. He comes in short-handed down the right side. Knocked off his stick by P.O. Joseph. Carries behind his own net. Pressured by Engvall. Out of the box comes Mete. Team's back to 5-on-5 with the Leafs still up 1-0. 5.5 minutes gone here in the first period. It's Teddy Bluger over the line. A backhand feed in front. All alone is Zucker. Backhand shot is stopped by Shalgren. He gets the rebound from a sharp angle at the near post as well. Archibald on the far wall. Spins off Mac Hollowell. Shovels it down low for Matthews with the interception for Toronto. Connects to Hollowell. Lifts it in the air out to the neutral zone. It's Paling for Bluger over the line. Back to Paling. Into the slot. Passes back to the left point for Dumoulin. Across he goes right side to Jan Ruda. He had a goal on home ice in his last game here. Only regulation goal against Calgary on Wednesday. Was Paling with 2 goals last night in Philadelphia. Lost possession out the center. Jan Ruda back in his own end. Feeds it to Dumoulin. Skates atop his own crease and comes out of his own zone. Brian Dumoulin backpedals into Pittsburgh territory with Carter. Now out there with Gensel and Raquel, so still no Crosby. Jan Ruda skating right wing over the McDonald's logo in the neutral zone. He'll dump it in. Puck comes up the far wall. Received there by Mete. Shoveled forward. Knocked down by Raquel. Mete pops it to the far side. It's Tavares sliding across ice in his own zone for Sandin. Well, granted, the personnel is different, but Jeff Carter, no stranger to that top line last year when Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby were both absent in the early portion of the season. He shouldered the load there and performed pretty well. Here's Malkin taking the place of Carter on the ice. Rolls out in the neutral zone. It's Letang back in his own end for Pettersson. He'll hit Malkin, comes back into his own zone, connects to Pettersson. Drops it back once more for Evgeny Malkin over the Pens logo in the neutral zone. Stick handles through a sea of Leaf sticks to the right side for Russ. Snapper off the right shoulder of Shalgren. The rebound put wide by Zucker at the left circle.
And he's just looking to the heavens right now. He cannot believe he missed that. That came right off the shoulder of Shalgren, right onto the tape. It was like a pass off the shoulder and a one-timer by Jason Zucker in a wide-open cage. He just missed it.
Zucker over the attacking line, tried to feed Malkin in the slot. It pinballs out to center where Joseph whips it right side for Jeff Petrie. Passes forward for Bluger. Hands it off to Brian Rust in his own zone. Across center, Red backhands it into Leafs territory. Shalgren out of his net, turns it over. Centering pass from Bluger is picked off atop the crease by Dennis Malgin. He'll pass right wing for Hull. This pass picked up by Malgin at center. Comes over the line, right wing, dips to the right side. Slides behind the net. On the forehand, turns and throws it through the blue paint wide. Liljegren right wing, a wrister, glove by DeSmith. Rebound came free. Aston Reese pushes it to the near wall. Tries to go to the point. He's tied up by Bluger. Reverses course back down low. P.O. Joseph picks it up there, slides it up the left wing, out to the neutral zone. Brock McGinn sprints after it. He's got it. In down the left wing. Feeds the slot man. Petrie right side to Bluger. Whips one wide from the right wing circle. Teddy Bluger picks up a puck on the near side. His other 2 forward companions are changing as Raquel hops over the boards to join the fray. Liljegren back behind his own net. Passes forward for Willie Nylander over center Red. Flips it right side for Matthews. He'll gain the line into the right wing circle. Hands it off to Bunting. Carries behind the net, throws it up the right wing wall. Hollowell fans on the pass. Look out here, it's Carter. He may have a breakaway down the left side, shooting, and he missed the net. Bounces out to center. Picked up by Hollowell over the line. Hits Nylander right side, looking back in front, broken up. Good stick there by Dumoulin. It's still loose atop the blue paint. They're digging for it. Nylander tries to center, and it bounces to the far side. Gensel, shoulders bunting on the wall, shovels it up that left wing wall for Carter. He tries to clear. Kept in by Hollowell, but on the second attempt, able to find Gensel. Dumps it back into the Leaf zone. Hollowell feeds it behind his own net for Mitch Marner. He's bumped into by Rust, works away from him. Marner, the lone goal scorer for Toronto in this game. Turns it over here, though, as the Pens come back in. It's Malkin, right side to Zucker. Passing across for Rust, who was behind him. Picked up by Marner, 2-on-1 for the Leafs. It's Marner with Järnkrok. Marner down the right side, across for Järnkrok. Knocked off the puck by Chris Letang. And he clears.
What a play by Chris Letang on that 2-on-1. The pass was made, but he never gave up. Got stick on stick, didn't take a penalty, and broke up the play.
Giordano having all kinds of trouble handling the puck at the attacking line, and that draws the Leafs offside.
Good news. Sidney Crosby back on the Penguins bench.
That's great news, and we will step aside. 9:55 to go here in this first period. Toronto with a goal 40 seconds in from Mitch Marner. That's the difference. It's 1-0 Leafs on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
You look out the window and see blue skies. You drive down a perfectly smooth road. Vacant parking spots are not occupied by folding chairs. They're just empty. At this moment, you realize that you are not in Pittsburgh. There is no icy light to drink during the game. In fact, it's not even airing in this market. You wake in a cold sweat with a renewed appreciation for all you've taken for granted. You open the fridge to a familiar golden glow. No, you think aloud. 7:48 is not too early. Icy light. Let's raise another.
Some people celebrate the holidays, but you dominate the holidays. You deck the halls, the mantle, and anything else that will stand still. You deserve a bold cold brew that's as festive as you. Topped with creamy cookie butter cold foam, covered in cookie butter crumbles, and perfectly pairable with our new cookie butter donut, Dunkin's Cookie Butter Cold Brew is a delicious match for your decked out domination. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Get the perfect holiday gifts for hockey fans on your list at NHLShop.com. The world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and more. All the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special holiday offer. NHLShop.com. A Fanatics experience.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where the Maple Leafs lead the Penguins by a score of 1-0. And we want to definitely send our condolences. Borky, I've been thinking about it a lot. Borje Salming passing away earlier this week. ALS claiming him. What a moment it was in Toronto. It becomes even more profound when you think about him passing away recently. ALS claiming his life.
We have another break here. I want to take a minute and talk about that.
Toronto back in their own end. It's Aston Reese shoveling it out through center. Rolls back into the Penguins' end. Here's Pettersson behind the goal to Chris Letang, right wing. Up the wall, turned over. Aston Reese and Letang bang shoulders as it bounces back into Pittsburgh ice. It's Pettersson. Feeding it right side to Rickard Rakell over center red. Gains the line. Left wing to Crosby. Back out there. Across for Gensel. It hopped away from him. Backhands down low. Crosby looking for it. Leafs come away with it instead. David Kampf right atop his own crease. Plays it to the far corner. Liljegren's pass is picked off. It's Rakell looking for help. Backhands to the far side. Turns it over to Aston Reese. He's run into by Rakell. Tries to work through it. He will. And goes deeper into his own end for Liljegren. Teddy Bluger, Ryan Poehling, Josh Archibald over the boards for Pittsburgh. Go watch Rasmus Sandin skate out of his own end with 8:50 to go here in this first period, and the Leafs up 1-0 as the puck goes up into the netting and out of play. 8:50, 1-0. We're back after this on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hear every NFL game on Sirius XM.
That's getting something going.
It's easy to find all the Sunday afternoon action on your radio. The home teams air on channels 225 through 234.
Touchdown! Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes Magic.
watching. And away teams on channels 380 through 392.
Touchdown Buffalo. Josh Allen, what a play.
Take your hometown announcers anywhere. Just search for your team on the SXM app. Go to SiriusXM.com/NFL schedule for game times and channel listings.
I can't believe it.
Historic hockey moments.
February 7th, 1976, Toronto Maple Leafs captain Darryl Sittler dominates at home in an 11-4 win over Boston.
As long as he lives, he'll remember this evening. So will all of us doing the game here at Maple Leaf Gardens.
On SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
April 10th, 1982, the Miracle on Manchester. Game 3 heading into the third between the heavily favored Edmonton Oilers, who were up 5-0 over the underdog LA Kings.
Shot by Evans, he's going out! The Kings have taken the lead in the series. They came from behind to win in overtime, 6-5.
Never miss a moment on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Pens.
Penguins opening up a 5-game homestand here tonight against these Toronto Maple Leafs. They've taken the regular season series each of the last 2 years these teams have matched up. Leafs trying to reverse course here tonight. A victory for Toronto would give them the decision in the head-to-head matchup.
Pretty remarkable what the Leafs have done. Back on October 30th, they had lost their 4th game in a row. They lost in overtime to the Anaheim Ducks.
Yep.
I think that was the wake-up call. Because since then, they're 8-1-3 in their last 12. Their only regulation loss? Go ahead, Josh.
To the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes, sir. 11-11.
We were there.
In Toronto.
Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Ryan Poehling knocked away from it by Alex Kerfoot. Comes forward for Pontus Holmberg, and the rookie forward will knock it into the Penguin zone. Jan Rutta, left wing, lifts it in the air out to center, bounces back to the Toronto end. Mark Giordano picks it up there, slings it up the right wing wall out to center, caught in stride by Kerfoot. Holding the line, right wing. Pivots on the backhand, inside the near circle, once to the forehand. Now down low to Engvall on that far wall. Hit there by Jan Rutta. Dug free by Dumoulin, down low. Holmberg and Josh Archibald tied up. Holmberg wins the puck battle, comes out with it, throws it left side for Sandin. Couldn't handle that puck at the near circle. It's like a hot potato over there. Bounces into the near corner. Bluger up the wall looking for Archibald. Kept in by Toronto. Bunting throws it to the net. Stick aside by DeSmith. A big rebound. And DeSmith kicks out the right pad on Austin Matthews.
Confusion there. Casey DeSmith thought he was just taking that puck and handing it to Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin didn't want it.
And not the guy you want waiting there for the loose puck, Austin Matthews, but the Penguins live to tell the tale. Timothy Liljegren dumps it in. On the near side, it's Jason Zucker passing forward for Brian Russ. Slaps it ahead for P.O. Joseph joining the rush. Glides it left side for Malkin. Knocked off his stick. Bunting pushes it ahead 2-on-1 for Toronto. Nylander over to Matthews. Tries to pass. Knocked down by Petrie, who sacrificed the body to break up the lane. Back up top it comes. Toronto still possessing. Left point, it's Mete. Snaps one. Gobbled up by DeSmith at the near post. And he'll freeze it.
Well, that one's on Evgeny Malkin. Trying to do too much. Gain the zone, Josh. And great offensive players, that's all they want to do. They want to back off the D with the speed in the neutral zone and then create from there. But Evgeny Malkin trying to dipsy-doodle through the middle of the ice. And he had his defenseman, P.O. Joseph, jumping up on the play. So a little combination there of P.O. Joseph can't be so overzealous to jump up on the play when you see Gino going east-west. Right? Pull back, stay a little safe there, but Gino also can't turn the pucker over there.
Wrister off the draw from Marner, snared by DeSmith, but we got a penalty here. A hooking minor at ice level signaled.
Penguins.
And it looks like the Penguins are going to be shorthanded.
Marner didn't get a lot on that shot because he was being hooked.
Pittsburgh penalty, number 28, 2 minutes for hooking.
By Marcus Pettersson.
So the Leafs will get their first power play of the game. It'll be John Tavares, Willie Nylander, Mitch Marner, Rasmus Sandin, and Austin Matthews on this power play for Toronto. Copper's penalty kill back to work for the Penguins. Sandin controls off the draw at the center point position. Passes left side to Marner in the slot. A shot from Tavares denied by DeSmith with the left pad. Comes back to Sandin, right point position. Near side for Marner. Steps in the left wing circle. A shot thrown atop the crease. DeSmith again spawned out with the left leg and says no to Tavares. Here's Marner. A slapper goes wide. Rattles up the right wing wall and out to center. Marner in the neutral zone. Had to wait for his teammates to get on side. They do. He comes in down the left wing. Back to the point for Sandin. Right side, Willie Nylander. Center point, Sandin. 30 seconds gone on the Leafs power play. It's Nylander in the far corner with it. Back up top for Rasmus Sandin to the near side for Marner. Throws it in front to Smith. The active stick tips it to the far corner. That caught the netting and is whistled dead.
Well, we see this play, I call it a hinge play, because the Boston Bruins are the best at it. With Brad Marchand, a left-hand shot right side of the ice, and then you have Patrice Bergeron. He's the hinge, right? He's the swinging gate that when that puck goes to Marchand on the right side, Bergeron pumps out to the high slot for the one-timer.
Yep.
For Toronto, it's the other way around, right? Because you have John Tavares, a left-hand shot. You have Austin Matthews, a left-hand shot. Marner, a right-hand shot. So they work that same play from the other side of the ice.
Toronto controlling off the draw. Giordano back to Marner into the slot. Wrist shot missed the net. Loose at the near post. Nylander couldn't put it home. Tried to center. Letang holding his ground well at that far post to block it off. Kept it at the point by Giordano. Cross for Matthews. His pass tipped out the center. An active stick from Teddy Bluger. Who else? And the Leafs will retreat to their own zone. Mark Giordano finds Matthews. He'll skate up the left wing. Over center red, flips it right side, bounces into Penguin territory. Matthews tried to get it around Petrie, could not, and Jeff Petrie puts the puck in the neutral zone. 30 seconds left on the Coppers penalty kill. 5.5 to go here in this first period. Toronto with a 1-0 lead. Dennis Malgin out through center for Toronto over the line, flips it into the far corner of the Pittsburgh zone. Played behind the net for Engvall, steers it up the left wing wall. Giordano there at the left point position. Passes to the near side wall for Malgin. Back up top, Giordano, a shot blocked by Paling up into the netting and out of play.
Well, you mentioned it, Josh, how different this penalty killing unit is with one guy. You can't deny it now. Teddy Bluger is the guy, right?
Yep.
He seems to have changed the mindset, the smart aggressiveness of the penalty killing unit. Knowing when to be passive. There's times when you just have to get in your box formation, keep everything to the outside. The other times when you decide, okay, bobble the puck. Who's that player? How skilled is he? Forehand, backhand, all those things fire off in your brain in about a second and a half. And all the penalty killers seem to be on that page.
Leafs still with the final seconds of the power play here in the attacking end. It's pinned by Dumoulin in the far corner. Pettersson's out of the box, and the Coppers penalty kill stays hot. 1-for-1 here tonight. Out to center it comes. Teddy Bluger with the puck for Pittsburgh over the line, left wing. He'll dump it in and go for a change as the Leafs gather back in their own zone. Timothy Liljegren, the right-handed shooting defenseman, wearing number 37 out through the neutral zone, rips it in. Comes near side for Petrie, behind his own net for Joseph. Fires forward for Gensel, passes ahead for Crosby. He'll gain the line into the slot, slips it left side a little too far in front of Raquel. Picks it up in the far corner though. He's bumped into by Hull, stays on his feet, stolen away by Holmberg, swings it forward for Mete. He can move down the left side. Victor Mete with a step on Petrie, a wrister. Good recovery there by Jeff Petrie to get stick on puck. It goes wide. Puck pinballs to the near side for Justin Hull. Lost it to Kerfoot, throws it all the way around on the right wing wall. It's Holmberg to it. Passing back to the point. Hull slides it left wing for Mete. Snapshot this. Smith says no, and he freezes it. 3:59 to go in the first period. Toronto 1, Pittsburgh 0 on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Life-changing is a nursing career where you have the power to take the lead and opportunities to make real change, where you work alongside colleagues that care and see inspiration every day, where you're celebrated for who you are and have the support you need for what matters most to you. Life-changing is being a nurse at UPMC. Explore your career options today at upmc.com/nursing.
Evoqua Water Technologies is a proud partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like the City of Champions, Evoqua has a history of hard work, innovation, and commitment to the community. The Pittsburgh-based company provides solutions to ensure water is safe, reliable, and available, now and for future generations. Learn more about Evoqua and how to join their growing team at evoqua.com. Evoqua Water Technologies, transforming water, enriching life.
Hey, Nissan, how do you get to the top?
Calculating. Proceed to 1959. Take a hard left in East Africa at the 71 Safari Rally. Veer right for 19 off-road championships in the Baja Desert. Proceed towards Moab. Take the trail to Hell's Revenge. Include steep incline. Continue for the next 1,000,000 miles.
Where to first again?
60 years, millions of miles, and the capability to take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
3:59 to go in the first period, 1-0 Toronto. Reminder, Brian Metzer will join you during the first intermission report. Give you his thoughts on this one, a look around the NHL, maybe a guest. I just saw Christina Aguilera's in the building, so I don't know if Mets can pull some strings, but we'll see. Up to him, I guess, put the ball in his court.
You a fan, Josh?
I am a fan of Christina Aguilera, yes.
Same.
She sang the anthem here way back when, right?
Sang the national anthem in the 91 playoffs, Stanley Cup final.
Different time for many.
A humbling moment for Jeff Jimerson to step aside to let the kid from Wexford belt it out.
Leafs controlling here. Tavares a centering pass through everyone. That comes back down to Toronto ice. Eric Shalgren will leave it behind the net for Mark Giordano. And wearing number 55 in his first full season, acquired last year from the Seattle Kraken, passes ahead for Marner. Lost the puck there. McGinn tried to clear, bobbled in the air. Marner settles it, throws it right back into McGinn, and this time he'll say, okay, I just skated out myself, crosses center red and dumps it in. Giordano behind the net. Poke check there by Heinen. Comes free to Camp on the left wing. He'll pivot away from the pressure of Heinen. Throws it behind the net. Giordano to the right side for Justin Hall. Snaps it left side for David Camp. Back to the right wing for Hall on the far wall. Passes forward for Camp and slapped by Aston Reese. Near side for Sandin, who dumps it in. Brian Dumoulin into the near corner for Jan Ruda. Up the left wing wall for Zucker. Finds Evgeny Malkin. Slides it left side for Dumoulin. He'll dump it in. Bounces to the near corner. Sandin pushes it forward. Penguins right on top of him, though. Malkin tries to get it below the goal line. Battling for it. Finds Zucker. Twists it to Rust in the near corner. Behind the net to Malkin. Comes out with it on the far side. Banks it back down low to Zucker. Up the wall he goes with 2.5 to go in the period. 1-0 rather. Leafs in front. And Aston Reese corrals and flips it back into the Penguin zone. It rolls around Ruda. Malkin with a chance on the backhand. Denied by the right pad of DeSmith. Well, that developed quickly. Casey DeSmith with an answer, and the Penguins clear it to center.
Zach Aston Reese just airmailed that, flipped it up in the air, and a little confusion for Jan Ruda. Ended up being a good scoring chance for the Leafs.
Comes back down to our left in Penguin territory. Pedersen will slide it right side for Letang. Puts it to the line, but it's kept in by Mete. Backhands deeper. Puck back behind the Penguin net. Letang tied up there with Michael Bunting. Two of them come together, and it comes free to Sidney Crosby. The captain will skate left wing and pass for Letang. Back he goes left side for Raquel, who pushes it into the Leaf zone. Victor Mete snaps it up the near side wall over the head of Letang. Banks out to the neutral zone for Bunting. He's over the line and hit heavily by Pedersen, but finds Nylander in the slot. Hopped off his stick right to Gensel. Passes left wing for Raquel. Over center red to Crosby over the line. Back to Raquel. Turns it in front. Looking for Gensel. It spins in on Shalgren as that caught a Leaf stick. And the goaltender snares it, pinning it to his chest for the whistle.
Well, it'll just be the fifth shot on goal and more of a deflection shot on goal there by Ricard Raquel. You know, the Penguins had some opportunities early on to score, Josh, but a lot of it since then has been one and done. They're dumping the puck in, but they're not winning the puck battles, or they're not dumping it in the right place to retrieve it. It's dumping it to dump it.
Yep.
And that's where you need to be mentally sharp, right? That's where you need that puck support, where all three forwards are on the same page. And I think that's been lacking here a little bit here towards the end of this first period.
Face off to Shalgren's right, controlled by the Penguins. Here's P.O. Joseph on the left side, hit by Engvall. Comes free to Bluger. Down low looking for Ryan Poehling. We missed it yesterday. This line combined for 7 points and 3 goals in the Penguins' 4-1 win against Philadelphia on Black Friday. As the Leafs corral it, it's Justin Hull out through center. That was past the reach of Engvall. No icing, waved off by the linesman Travis Toomey. As Jeff Petrie picks it up behind his own net. Left side for Joseph. Passes forward to Bluger, over the line, slides it ahead for Archibald. Couldn't get around Kampf as the Penguins knock it deeper. Minute to go here in the first period. Toronto 1, Pittsburgh 0. Kampf passes near side for Sandin, pushes it forward for Kerfoot. Backhands across for Liljegren. Just shy of center red, lifts it into the Penguins zone. It's gloved down by Petrie to his stick. Right on top of that Penguins crease. He'll skate between the circles and feed it right side for Dan Heinen. Banks it back down in Toronto territory. Justin Hull will be the first to the puck. Swings it up the right wing wall. Deflects ahead for the Leafs. They may have a 2-on-1. It's Tavares with Yarncroke. Tavares down the right side. Swatted at by Heinen. A backhander turned aside by DeSmith. John Tavares, who scored his 400th goal in this building the last time these two teams met. Great bid there for another one, but answered by DeSmith as a Carter shot goes way up into the netting and out of play. Not that netting. You would have been a lot louder.
The thing about John Tavares, he's a star player, but he doesn't have the wow factor, the way that maybe a Matthews or a McDavid or a Draisaitl or even a Marner does. He's more of a working man's star player, right, Josh?
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
But he's got those flashes where you kind of think, well, he's kind of clunking along. He doesn't look like he's going that fast. And that opportunity there, that was from a ridiculous angle on the backhand, and he got a good shot on goal. That kind of surprised Casey DeSmith. Look out.
Another odd man rush, 2-on-1. Marner across for Matthews, who fanned on the pass. It kind of hopped on his stick at the right wing circle.
Oh, my goodness, what a break that was.
Oh, 4 seconds left in the period. The puck pinned against the wall by the Penguins. Matthews jousts one to the goal, and a stick save made by DeSmith. So the Penguins dodge a bullet late, and they're down 1 after 20 minutes here in this first period. The Leafs put 17 shots on goal in the first period. One of them, the first one, gets by Casey DeSmith, and they'll lead at 1-0 after 1 here tonight. Brian Metzer coming your way next. A full recap of this first period. Maybe he got Christina, who knows. He was pulling some strings. I saw him working the phones after we mentioned that earlier, so we'll see what he has to say about that. We'll see him and his thoughts on the first period when we come back. After 1-0 Toronto. Mets is next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Attention sports fans. There's no better place to watch your hometown teams than Bet Rivers Sportsbook at Rivers Casino. Bet on all the action right in the center of the casino while watching on our 50-foot video wall or one of our 86-inch TVs. If you can't be at the game, Bet Rivers Sportsbook is the place to be. Visit riverscasino.com for more information, and we'll see you at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Make plans now to be a part of the excitement of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey with a U-Pick 6-pack. Mix and match 6 games of your choice, including the must-see matchups, promotional nights, weekend matinees, and more, while saving off the gate price of tickets. To learn more, visit www.pittsburghpenguins.com/mini-plan or call the Penguins ticketing department at 412-642-PENS.
Are your eco-friendly bulbs lit with eco-friendly power? IGS Energy now offers 100% green electricity and carbon-neutral natural gas, because every good choice adds up to a better world. We are IGS Energy. Join us, and let's go green for good.
Shop Sheely's and score big on your next mattress purchase. Try over 50 mattresses from brands like Serta, Beautyrest, Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, and more. Plus 24-month special financing and free local delivery. Sheely's, the official furniture and mattress provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all the electrical and telecommunication needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBEW will be here to stand by you for all your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Now it's time for the first period recap, brought to you by Giant Eagle and Snapple. Now back to the Penguins Radio Network.
The Penguins trail the Maple Leafs 1-0 after one period of play here at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and looking back over that opening period, wouldn't be much to talk about goal-wise if the Penguins didn't surrender one just 40 seconds into the opening period. Mitch Marner extends a scoring streak to 16 straight games, picking up a goal 40 seconds in. Penguins get caught in a bad line change. Austin Matthews ends up collecting the puck in the neutral zone, throws it to Marner, who was in behind the defense, went in alone on Casey DeSmith, made a little backhand, forehand move, froze Casey, and was able to deposit that puck in the net. From there were a number of really quality opportunities back and forth. A couple for the Penguins were the Evgeny Malkin line at 7:23 of that period. They came into the zone. Brian Rust had a shot. Rebound came off Eric Shalgren and went right over to Jason Zucker, who just missed the net, unfortunately. Came very close to burying that one. They had a couple other opportunities, including a Jeff Carter breakaway. On the Maple Leaf side, they had a number of odd man rushes into the zone. Penguins have to watch that the rest of the way and clean up a little bit of their play at the offensive blue line. When they're going in trying to make plays, they've turned it over and it's gone the other way. Right at the end of the period, Matthews had a really beautiful chance, and he fanned on the one-time opportunity that would have probably been a goal had he been able to make contact with the shot. He wasn't, so we're good to go. Couple penalties. Mete went on the Leaf side for holding, and on the Penguin side, Pettersson went for hooking. Nobody scored on the power play. Penguins with 15 straight kills, and now 7 for their last 52 on the power play. Shots on goal, 17-5 in favor of the Leafs in the period. When we come back, we're talking Pens and Leafs with Michael Agello. We'll do that next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is the S&T Bank First Period Instant Radio Replay. Brought to you by S&T Bank, proud presenting sponsor of the Penguins Radio Network.
Across for Marner, a wrist shot looking back door for Yarncroc. Couldn't get his stick on it, and it sails to center ice. Austin Matthews with it there. Quick pass ahead. He springs Marner and down the left wing to the forehand. Shoots and scores! 40 seconds in. Penn's caught in a change, and Mitch Marner makes him pay. It's 1-0 Leafs.
From the electricity in PPG Paints Arena to the highlight reel plays, there's nothing quite like Penguins hockey. Be there live to cheer them on as the official ticketing partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ticketmaster has you covered with the largest selection of seats for any budget. Get off the couch and into the stands. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Life-changing is a nursing career where you have the power to take the lead and opportunities to make real change, where you work alongside colleagues that care and see inspiration every day, where you're celebrated for who you are and have the support you need for what matters most to you. Life-changing is being a nurse at UPMC. Explore your career options today at upmc.com/nursing.
It all comes down to this. A penalty shot to decide it all. It's F-150. 45 years in America's best-selling lineup of trucks versus an untested brand shaking in fear between the pipes. F-150 takes the puck. One move, two, triple D. F-150 shoots and scores. The 45-year streak continues. That's why Ford trucks are the official trucks of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
At GetGo, quality is at the core of every menu item. Our 3 expert chefs fine-tune every detail, from how classic and unexpected flavors complement each other to the order each fresh ingredient is added, so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. And we're always searching for bold new recipes and ways to improve your favorites. Order amazing at GetGo Cafe Plus Market today. Better, believe it. This is the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Radio Network.
And welcome back into our First Intermission Report, with the Penguins trail the Leafs 1-0 after one period of play here in Pittsburgh. Joining us now to discuss this game and much more is our good buddy Michael Agello. He covers the Maple Leafs for Hockey Buzz. He writes for a number of other sites. He works for Full Press, the Fisher Report. Mike, you're everywhere, my friend. How you been?
Good evening, Brian. Yes, I am everywhere. I can't help it. I just like to write.
Yeah, and you do the off-the-post radio as well, so I left that out. But jump into this matchup a little bit. Mitch Marner right now riding a 16-game scoring streak after scoring just 40 seconds in. How hot has he been? And just speak to these forwards. They're so dynamic on this Maple Leafs roster.
Well, Marner's been red hot. He actually got off to a fairly slow start, and there was a little bit of criticism, which always seems to follow him. But he, 16 in a row. Now only 2 points behind the club lead, Daryl Sittler and Eddie Olchuk. He seems to be the centerpiece of their offense, 5-on-5 and on the power play.
What was interesting was in training camp, I recall hearing him taking some shifts as a defenseman. I hope it didn't get that bad that they were ever going to consider doing that, and I'm talking about Mitch Marner there. I did want your take on Matt Murray. When we talked last, Mike, he was just coming back from his injury, probably a few days away, ended up playing against the Penguins, but he seems like he's really kind of rounded a little bit of a corner, at least early on in his tenure here. How's he looked, and overall, what went into bringing him in?
Well, he's been a revelation over the last 10 days ever since that game in Pittsburgh on the 15th. I mean, the only game he's lost was the Devils in overtime. He's been fantastic. He stole the game in New Jersey on Wednesday and then made an unbelievable game-saving save with about 5 seconds left on Kirill Kaprizov yesterday. So, it was simply they weren't going to sign Jack Campbell to a long-term contract. The Leafs were looking for, I think, somebody who was more playoff proven, and as you know, with what he did with the Penguins in 2016 and 2017, he can do that. It's not ability with Matt Murray, it's availability, and he's so far, since coming back from that groin injury, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, it certainly appears like it, and I wanted to ask you, too, about that. We are speaking with Michael Agello. In bringing him in, it seemed like he had a comfort level with some of the brass from Sheldon Keefe on down through the whole thing, including Kyle Dubas. I mean, just talk about that a little bit, because I think that's as important as anything else for Matt Murray.
Well, Matt Murray played with Sault Ste. Marie, and there's always a theme in terms of the Leafs. Whenever you're going to go out and get a player, usually it's somebody who's played for Sault Ste. Marie. And he did, and there was a trust level there. And I think they realized, the difficult time that he had in Ottawa, that he was in need of a restart, and I think they had enough comfort in him and his ability to make that move. There were probably not a lot of teams out there that were willing to take the risk on Matt Murray, especially even with Ottawa retaining 25%, but Dubas and Keefe, their knowledge of him, that convinced them to make that move.
Yeah, it just seems like a good fit so far. Hopefully it works out. I'm rooting for him to be a good Leaf moving forward. Mike, thanks for this. I really appreciate the time. We'll do it again soon.
Anytime, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, that is Michael Agello. Find him on Twitter at Mike in Buffalo. When we come back, news, notes, and scores from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, 84 Lumber Company, official home building supplier of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
84 Lumber is a family-owned company that has been around for over 6 decades, providing growth opportunities and competitive benefits to its associates. Since 84 Lumber promotes nearly 100% from within, you can move up the ladder quickly and create a career that fits your goals. With a world-class training program, no experience is needed to get started. Visit 84lumber.com/careers to apply today and build your career with 84 Lumber.
Business success isn't just about where you'll go and how you'll get there. It's also about who you'll team with. Pittsburgh businesses rely on CGI as their hometown IT partner. With top talent right around the corner, you'll gain access to expertise and insights you can act on. CGI is proud to invest, hire locally, and contribute to this vibrant Pittsburgh community. Learn more at CGI.com/US.
TenderCare Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 30 years. To find a TenderCare school near you, visit earlyeducationpros.org. TenderCare Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
If there's a better place for world-class outdoor adventure, or a better place to take in top-rated fall colors, we haven't seen it. but you should see it. It's all right here in West Virginia. Plan your fall trip at wvtourism.com.
For many years, this area has been known for its grit and perseverance. Although times are tough, we will get through this together. Now is the time to climb higher, secure your future, and develop the skills necessary to become an iron worker. Earn good pay and great benefits while establishing an exciting career, not just a job. Apply today. Visit apprentice.iwlocal3.com. That's apprentice.iwlocal3.com. Climb higher with Iron Workers Local Union number 3.
It's time for the scoreboard, brought to you by 7-Up. Do more with 7-Up.
We got Leafs 1, Penguins nothing after one period here in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer back with you, looking around the league. Not quite as busy as it was the past couple of nights, or especially last night, but it's still a busy night on ice. The Panthers up 4-1 on the Blues in Sunrise. 1:25 to go in the second period there. Ekblad is fourth. Gudas on the board with his second. Verhaeghe his 12th. The Devils ahead of the Capitals 1-0. Heischer his 10th on the power play. 18:38 to go in the second period of that one. The Flyers, who the Penguins just knocked off last night, 1-1 with the Islanders. 4:11 to go in the first period there. The Stars and Avalanche are going to drop the puck at 9. Canucks and Golden Knights at 10. Some finals from earlier. The Oilers 4, the Rangers 3 in New York. The Flames fell to the Hurricanes 3-2. And of course, the Blue Jackets and Predators were postponed due to that water main break that's knocked off a couple of Predators games in a row now. So hopefully they can get that resolved. When we come back here in Pittsburgh, though, we will have a ton more coming your way. It's going to be second period action between Pens and Leafs. Josh Getzoff and Phil Bork will have it all for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
You deserve the best. With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for VIP experiences, and dedicated customer care. Plus, get access to Apple Music, Stitcher Premium Podcasts, and Nugs.net concert recordings. Call 855-268-1820 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Historic hockey moments.
February 5th, 1980, the 32nd NHL All-Star Game at Joe Louis Arena, which featured Wayne Gretzky's first appearance in the contest, and at the age of 51, Mr. Hockey Gordie Howe was playing in his 23rd and final NHL All-Star Game.
Number 99, center Wayne Gretzky. And from the Hartford Whalers, representing all of hockey with great distinction for 5 decades, number 9.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
After scoring 4 goals in Game 38 for his 45th on the season, on December 30th, 1981, the great one Wayne Gretzky and his Edmonton Oilers hosted the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 39 of the season.
Gretzky, will he shoot? He does! He scores! Wayne Gretzky's 50th goal in 39 games!
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
1992-93, the inaugural season for the Tampa Bay Lightning, had not just hockey fans, but the sporting world paying attention to the Bolts, thanks to a 5'7" goalie from Quebec who was trying out for the team.
The first woman to play professional hockey. There she is taking the ice. Manon Réon.
It was a publicity stunt, they said, orchestrated by Tampa's general manager, Phil Esposito.
I'd be a liar to say that I wasn't using it for publicity. But the fact is, she's not bad.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Booze. Penguin season presented by UPMC.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The best hockey lives here.
Back to Rick. Far side shot.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, because life.
This is Brian Dumoulin. It's time to get back to the action called by Josh Getzoff and the old 2-9er Phil Bork on the Penguins Radio Network.
Thank you, Brian Dumoulin, and welcome back to PPG Paints Arena, where the Penguins are on the comeback trail, down 1-0 after 20 minutes of play against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's some incentive for them. In the first 3 minutes this second period, we bring you, oh yes, the Big Mac attack. Yeah, if the Penguins score in the first 3 minutes of the period, it's a free Big Mac tomorrow at your local McDonald's stores. You just have to download that McDonald's app to get the Big Mac.
I would not be surprised at all if we have a Big Mac attack, because that first period from your Pittsburgh Penguins was very underwhelming. They're outshot 17-5. Yeah, you heard me right. 17-5. They're lucky. They're extremely lucky. It's only 1-0 and not 2 or 3-0.
Second period face-off brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. It features Tavares and Crosby as the Penguins move right to left. And it's controlled by John Tavares, who won it and dumped it in. Now 5-0 in draws so far in this game tonight. Puck down to our right in the Pittsburgh zone. Dug out by Yarncroke. Back to the point for Giordano. Slides it right wing for Hull. Wrist shot deflected in onto Smith by Marner, who makes the save. Mitch Marner over to Tavares. Snaps one from the right circle over the head to Smith and wide. Stick breaks on the far side. Penguins play the puck. Looked like everyone at ice level was anticipating a penalty there. No whistle. Turnover here by Pettersson. Here comes Hull. Over the line right side. Shouldered by Jake Gensel to the ice. Letang on the right wing wall, chips it forward, past everyone, all the way down it goes. That has enough steam for icing, and it will be just that with 44 seconds gone in the period.
Interesting thing just happened. Calle Yarncroke went for a puck battle with Rickard Rakell. Bam, right over the top of the stick of Rakell. Yarncroke breaks his stick.
That's what confused everybody.
Right? So the referees are like, well, wait, that should be, wait a minute, it's Yarncroke with the, because 90% of the time, it would be Rakell's stick that breaks from the Yarncroke slash.
Right. Shot comes in onto Smith off the stick of Liljegren, following another Toronto face-off win. They won 67% of the draws in the first period, and they've picked up where they've left off in the first two face-offs here in the second.
Tavares went 4-0 in that first period. Mike Sullivan saw enough from the Crosby line, didn't really like what he saw early on, and comes out with the Grinders, led by Teddy Bluger.
Face off to Casey DeSmith's left. It's won again by Toronto. Here's Matthews back to the point. Liljegren, a snapper into Smith, gobbles that up, but a penalty coming up here to Jeff Petrie, because he got involved with Willie Nylander, and the Pens will be shorthanded.
Penguins on sharp.
Not a good start to this period.
Here's the call.
Pittsburgh penalty number 26. 2 minutes for interference.
Interference, could have been cross-checking. Another face-off loss by the Penguins. This is just unbelievable. Jeff Petrie just comes right in behind Nylander and drills him from behind. Does Nylander go down early? Easy? Yeah, of course he does. That's how you draw a penalty.
Right.
Just I'm not sure what Jeff Petrie was thinking there when the puck was at the point. It wasn't even coming towards the net. That's between the ears for me.
Yep.
That's being sharp mentally.
Penguins control the face-off on the Coppers penalty kill, turned over by Dumoulin. Here comes Tavares, a cross-ice pass for Marner. Back in front, Tavares tried to put it in. Sprawled atop the crease was Jan Ruda. How about that? Jan Ruda channeling his inner goaltender and keeps the puck out as the Pens clear.
Not go in the net. Oh my goodness. See if the Penguins can get something going here. They're getting break after break after break just to keep it 1-0.
Nylander back in for the Leafs for this slot for Matthews. A shot off the left toe into Smith. He leans against the near post, knocked the net off its moorings. Leafs still possessing. So we'll play on. Now the Penguins touch the puck. It comes out to center. Sandin corrals it there.
Casey does not have to put this net back on.
Here's Nylander dropping it for Sandin. Bumps it behind the net, and the whistle does sound to stop play.
That's insanity. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, there's only one person in this whole building that's clapping that net got knocked off like that by Casey DeSmith. You know who it is?
Yeah, his old teammate.
Yeah, Matt Murray. Because Matt Murray's getting a bad rap in the National Hockey League of doing it intentionally. This clearly was not intentional, as Casey just barely bumped it. But then when it came off, it's not his job, while he's trying to stop the puck, to play linesman and put it back on the mooring.
Right.
But they let the play go on. So if the puck goes in the net, then what do? Why would you blow the whistle, fix the net, and play on? That's ludicrous.
It does seem pretty straightforward, honestly. Faceoff will come out to the neutral zone.
And let Toronto maintain control of the puck with the net clearly way off the mooring. If that puck enters the cage in some kind of a crazy happenstance, then what do you do if you're the Stripes?
Minute left in the Coppers penalty kill for Pittsburgh. Tavares snaps it ahead for Matthews over the line, but the Leafs are offside as the faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone.
Ryan Poehling just got drilled by Mitch Marner. No call, but the Penguins are already killing a penalty. And I tell you what, you don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't beg for calls. You go out and you roll your sleeves up, Josh, and you get a little snarl in your lip, and you make your own breaks here.
Face-off will be Tavares against Teddy Bluger. Face-off won by Bluger. That's Tavares' first lost draw of the game as Pettersson slaps it back down the length of the ice. Picked up by Giordano, feeds it ahead for Nylander, connects with Marner over the line, flips it cross ice, far corner, Tavares to it there. Knocked off his stick by Bluger. Letang to the puck, rips it around the wall and all the way down.
A strong play by Chris Letang. He was under pressure, knew he had one chance to get that out, and it had to be hard, and it was.
Pens on the shorthanded attack here. Ryan Poehling already with the shorty this year. Dangles his way through a couple of Leafs. Couldn't get the puck towards the net on the last attempt, though. Here's Engvall. Near side for Giordano, stepped into, knocked down by Archibald. Up ice come the Leafs with 15 seconds of power play time to work with. Bunting into the slot with it, passes right side for Malgin. Back to Bunting, a slap shot, changed direction and goes wide off the far post.
That hit Ruda and almost went into his own net. Yikes.
Archibald will clear, and that will do it. Penguins 2 for 2 on the Coppers penalty kill tonight. As we are back to 5-on-5.
No Big Mac. Sorry, folks.
Oh, last night, 2:59?
Yes, sir.
When Poehling scored. He tried to do it again there, shorthanded, just couldn't finish the job. So we'll play on 1-0. Leafs lead it. 3 minutes and 15 seconds gone here in the second period. Kerfoot in his own end. Bodied by Rust. Dug for by Malkin. Steered back down low. Sandin will pop it to the far wall. Zach Aston Reese pushes it behind his own net. Intercepted by Zucker. Back up to the point that hit a stick and flutters back down to Penguins ice. To Smith. Out of his net, right side for Letang. Pokes it behind the cage. Malkin will let it go to the near corner for Pettersson. Up the wall for Brian Rust. He'll rip it cross ice. Nearly caught Letang in stride. He got a stick on it, though, so no icing as it comes behind the Leafs net. Letang to the puck. On the near side. A pass pinballs up in the air. Bounces back to the near wall. Aston Reese behind the net for Justin Hall. Lays it left side for Sandin. Snaps through center. That's in front of Kerfoot all the way down, and that is icing against Toronto.
Oh, the month of November. It's coming to a close soon, Josh.
Yes.
So it's not too late. It's not too late to get your 15% off all the services at Zero Res. Yeah, for the whole month of November, Zero Res is offering 15% all their services for this month. Just give them a call at 412-701-1188 or go online. Puck comes into Shalgren, covers up. Or go online at ZeroResPittsburgh.com and say you want the station special. 15% off all their services. Maybe your house got absolutely trashed at Thanksgiving. And maybe you want it all spiffied up for the Christmas holidays coming around the corner. Call my good friends at Zero Res, because you spell it backwards, you spell it forwards, it all spells the same. Zero Res.
Pens win the face-off. Here's Joseph at the right point, across for Petrie. Snap shot, changed direction, and bounced wide of Shalgren. Crosby will shuffle it to the far corner. Raquel gives chase there, tied up with Giordano. Card Raquel throws it down low, intercepted by Tavares. He'll fling it forward for Mitch Marner. He has the goal so far tonight. His 6th of the season, just 40 seconds into the game. Plays it into the Pittsburgh end. Tavares centers in front. Yarncroc to Marner. Wrist shot to Smith. Got it off his chest and kept it out. At the left point, it's Giordano. His pass off the stick of Crosby out to the neutral zone. Gensel tracks it down there. He'll dump it in and go for a change. Jeff Carter, Dan Heinen, and Brock McGinn over the boards for Pittsburgh. Justin Hull back in his own end for Mark Giordano. Skates up ice, passes for Hull, right wing, over center red, dumps it in. 5 minutes gone here in the second, 1-0 Toronto. Ruda will smack it around to the near sidewall. Pinching was Mac Hollowell. He'll keep it alive for Toronto. In the near corner for Nylander, back up top to Hollowell. Left side. It's fed into the slot for Matthews. Tried to go back to Hollowell, wasn't ready for it, and it comes out to center ice. Hollowell will pass to the far side for Sandin, ahead for Bunting, pushes it forward for Nylander into the slot. He was knocked off the puck, and it's cleared to center. Hollowell, pressured by McGinn, lost possession. Dumoulin follows it up, he'll dump it in. Puck rattles to the far side. Victor Mete behind the net for Hollowell. Passes near wall for Nylander, scoops it up in the air out to the neutral zone, bouncing puck down to Penguin territory. Pettersson has to fend off Matthews. He's knocked off the puck by Austin Matthews behind the net, but Letang there for support. Picks it up, spins away from the pressure of Matthews, then Kerfoot, and passes forward for Malkin.
Brilliant work by Chris Letang to escape and help get that puck out of the zone.
Pettersson dumps it in the far corner. It's Brian Rust to it, skates behind the net. Lost possession, centered. It was behind Zucker, picked up by Kerfoot left wing. He'll lob it out to center ice. Letang from a knee, couldn't handle the bouncing puck. Engvall knocks it into Penguin territory. On the far side, Zucker turns it over. Kerfoot along the line, centers in front, hits Letang, rolls it on to Smith. He makes the save, back to the point. Liljegren a shot, and to Smith ready for that atop the crease. He stops it and hangs on. 13:42 to go in the second. Toronto's out shooting the Penguins 23-6. They lead at 1-0 on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey Penguins fans, this is Jake Ensel with the Milkshake Factory. You know me for this. And now you'll also know me for this. Every time I do this, you get one of these. Yep, every game I light the lamp, you get half off Jake's Shake the next day at the Milkshake Factory. Jake's Shake is a chocolate shake with brownies, Oreos, and hot fudge, topped with chocolate number 59. And just like all our shakes, it's made with locally sourced farm fresh dairy. Remember, every game I score, half off Jake's Shakes next day. Just mention this offer at checkout. The Milkshake Factory, the official milkshake of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Life-changing is a nursing career where you have the power to take the lead and opportunities to make real change, where you work alongside colleagues that care and see inspiration every day, where you're celebrated for who you are and have the support you need for what matters most to you. Life-changing is being a nurse at UPMC. Explore your career options today at upmc.com/nursing.
Today, for students, is essential to develop a global perspective.
You need to push yourself out of your comfort zone constantly. I think that's really a part of the experience of studying abroad, is to broaden your perspective of the world and of people.
We want students to know that if they go to Kent State, they have the world a la carte to develop a true global perspective.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. Toronto in front of the Penguins by a score of 1-0. Pens with just 6 shots on goal, but second periods have been good for the most part in the goal-scoring department to Pittsburgh. 31 goals in the second. That's the most in the National Hockey League.
Well, they better get their act together. They've been outshot 24-6. And here in the second period where you thought, okay, wakey, boys.
Right.
They've been outshot 7-1.
Yeah, Lisa just continued doing what they did in the first period.
Nothing fancy, Josh. No. It's just very structured, very simple. And they really cut to the chase. They've outworked the Pens.
Here's Ruda joining the rush right wing. A blast off the right pad of Shalgren. Jan Ruda can bring it when he lets it go.
You give him a little time, a little space. If he can skate into a slapper, it's got flames coming out the backside.
Dumoulin pushes it behind his own net for Bluger. Back to Brian Dumoulin. Pivots away from the pressure, feeds it left side for Bluger, hopped over his stick. That's going to go down, and that will be icing against Pittsburgh.
You know, I think of just the body language of the Penguin players. They kind of know it's one of those games, right, Josh?
Yep.
And so that's why, and I think Casey knows it too. He knows the boys are not at their very best right now, not just because of the shots 24-7. And he knows, I gotta keep us in this game. I gotta keep us in this game till we find some footing here and get one past Shalgren, because if we can get these fans back in this hockey game, we might blow the roof right off the building.
Yeah, it's easy to say the next goal is big, but you kind of get the feeling with how this game's going, it looms pretty large. It's Josh Archibald in the attacking end, pushes it down low to Bluger. He's knocked to the ice by Hollowell. Loose in that far corner. Archibald digs it free, pushes back to the point, picked off by Bunting, slaps it ahead for Nylander. Over the Penguin logo at center, will dump it into the far corner. Letang carries behind the net. Ran into his own teammate, Pettersson, comes free near side for Nylander. He'll throw it back down low. Behind the net, it's Marcus Pettersson picking it up for the Penguins. 10 assists on the season as he lobs it out to the neutral zone, knocked down by Matthews. He'll come into the slot for Nylander. Across Bunting, a shot off the iron, made the crossbar, and it stays out.
Unbelievable.
Pens go the other way. They have a 3-on-2. It's Raquel. Across for Crosby, left side. Snapper blockered away by Shalgren. Crosby had the short side. Shalgren took it away.
I think he hit the knob of his stick.
Here's a shot from Gensel at the right circle. It's loose behind Shalgren and put in by Raquel, but it was blown dead and waved off immediately before Raquel even put the puck on stick behind the net. Behind the goaltender, I should say.
Well, that's a shame because Kelly Sutherland, a veteran referee, was not in good position here. He got himself stuck in the far corner where he should have been over towards behind the net, because his puck clearly sat behind Shalgren. My goodness gracious, boys. I mean, it was probably about a foot and a half in behind Shalgren. It wasn't like it was tucked right underneath his backside. Just Kelly Sutherland not in a good spot here. They're going to talk about this.
Yeah, the referees have huddled up by the scorer's table. It was clearly behind Eric Shalgren in the blue paint and loose. Play was blown dead. The headset's coming on down at ice level for both referees, Pierre Lambert and Kelly Sutherland.
Is there any way they count this, Josh?
I was under the impression that if it was blown dead, it's a dead puck.
Yeah. Then why are they reviewing it? I guess that's the follow-up.
Maybe
right?
they're trying to hear where the whistle sounded in relation to the puck going in. Now, to me, the whistle was clearly blown before Raquel put it in the net.
I don't know if that even needs to be reviewed unless they're just doing it for blanks and giggles.
Here's Kelly Sutherland.
The puck is deemed dead as it was not continuous motion of the shot. The whistle was blown to kill the play. No goal.
Whoa. The play is because the puck is dead? Is that what he said?
Said the puck was dead because there was not continuous motion of a shot.
So if the puck lays in the blue paint, it doesn't continue to move, then the play's dead? Is that what he just said?
Unless he's talking about Raquel's attempt to put it, and I don't know. I'm puzzled by that. I'm puzzled by the explanation. It makes sense to me that it wasn't a goal at ice level because the play was blown dead.
With a day off tomorrow, I will be having the finest bottle of red in my house tonight, reading the rule book, because I almost guarantee you I'm not going to find that. There was not continuous motion of the puck, so the play is dead? Holy moly.
Face off here to Eric Shalgren's left. You know, a moment like that, though, maybe it wakes up the Penguins a little bit.
Maybe.
Crosby wins the draw to Joseph on the far side. Run into by Aston Reese, comes out the center. Joseph turns it over there to Camp, rolls off his stick to Raquel. Outlets to Gensel over the line, feeds it to Crosby, skate the stick right wing. Pivots on the far wall into the slot. Dangling is Petrie, a backhander goes wide.
He tried to make a pass. Need to put that baby on the net. You got to shoot everything.
Here's Gensel into the slot to Raquel. Turns on the forehand, right side to Joseph, back across Ricard Raquel. Hits Gensel, his pass knocked down and cleared by Justin Hall. P.O. Joseph, left wing in his own zone, ahead to Raquel, tried to chop that forward. It was intercepted by Camp. He'll dump it in. DeSmith's out of his goal. Nearly turned over by Jeff Petrie with Tavares lurking atop the crease. He's able to poke it out through center. Leafs have it in their territory. Sandin's pass knocked down in the neutral zone by Marner. Glove down by Joseph, but he enters the zone offside as Dan Heinen was still inside the Leafs' end. And you can bet that the booze will be coming now.
I'll tell you, you think about the opportunities that Toronto has had to make this 2-0, 3-0, even 4-0, Josh.
You're right.
You had Austin Matthews missed a one-timer at the end of the first period. Wide open cage. You just had Bunting on a one-timer off a Penguins turnover. Wide open cage, puts it off the iron. Oh, it's a crazy game, man. Not only is tonight a crazy game, but the game of hockey is crazy. You just never know when things could break your way, when you don't even have, never mind your A game, you don't even have your B game here, but you're hanging around and you're one shot away from tying things up.
Not to mention 2 power plays for the Leafs, up 1-0 that they weren't able to convert on as they iced the puck here. I don't know, maybe it's just jumping the gun a little bit, but I do feel a little bit of a shift.
Yeah.
In the momentum in here, the last few minutes of this game.
Same, that non-call, or the waved-off goal, I should say, however you want to word it.
Yeah.
I think it stirred some emotions, not only here in the building, but I think the trickle-down is on the bench. Let's see if the Penguins can get some life out of the crowd here. Because they're waiting for something special to happen here to get out of their seats.
Zucker on the far side, controls off the draw, cross ice pass to Rust, atop the left wing circle, feeds Malkin, hands it off to Zucker, swings it right wing. Pettersson tries to shoot, that was blocked. It's picked up by Malkin, just inside the line, across for Letang, left point, tries to shoot that one, fans on it, and it's tracked down by the Leafs in the slot. Out comes Tavares, 2-on-2 with Jarnkrok, he'll dump it in. Marcus Pettersson banks it off the end wall to Letang. Knocked down by Marner. Comes away with the puck in the slot. A shot, and they score. Pontus Holmberg. Up over the shoulder of DeSmith. And the Leafs capitalize off the turnover. It's 2-0 with 10:05 to go in the second.
Now the Penguins really had something going on, and it all broke down on a shank shot by Chris Letang. The Penguins had the Leafs right by the throat, Josh. And then Chris Letang in the corner gets his pocket picked. Bingo, bango. The turnover by Letang. The pass out into the high slot to Holmberg. He's got a day and a half to walk down Grant Street, pick his spot over the left glove hand of Casey DeSmith. And it's 2-0 Leafs.
Face off at center ice. Holmberg gets the boot. Kerfoot steps in against Crosby, who wins it. Jan Aruda chips it back down into the Leaf zone as we hit the midway point of the second period, end the game. Toronto's added one moments ago. It's 2-0 Leafs. Gensel in the attacking end. Turns it over to Kerfoot. Slides it rink wide all the way back down into the Penguins zone, and that's going to be icing against Toronto with 9:47 on the clock in the second period.
You know, and this is where you need a character with character to stir the pot. Something's got to get shaken up here a little bit, and the emotions need to be stirred. Even if you do something stupid, the Penguins are flat, and they need somebody to light a flame under their backside here and get back in this hockey game.
They win the face-off here. It's Raquel. Back to Dumoulin. His wrist shot off the end wall. Skips it top the crease. Poked at there. It was loose for a second. Shalgren able to pin it against that near post for the whistle. 9:38 to go in the second. Toronto with a 2-0 lead over the Penguins here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Let's go, football fans. This week on Let's Go with Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald and me, Jim Gray.
It's our Thanksgiving edition. We love having Charles Barkley.
One thing about Chuck, when I hear people say he's going to be fair, but he's going to be honest, I wish I could say positive things about everybody all the time, but, you know, they just saw the game. If you play bad, I can't get on TV and tell people you played good.
Download Let's Go right now on the SXM app or wherever you get your podcasts. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Historic hockey moments.
The longest Game 7 in Stanley Cup playoff history, the New York Islanders versus the Washington Capitals at the Capitol Center, Saturday, April 18th through to Sunday, April 19th, 1987, the game known as the Easter Epic.
6 other times when a game has gone into quadruple overtime, shots on goal are 74-52.
He scores! LaFontaine at the blue line here in the fourth overtime, winning the series.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
March 23rd, 1994, Wayne Gretzky passes his hero Gordie Howe for most goals scored.
Gretzky scores! He did it! The greatest goal scorer in National Hockey League history is Wayne Gretzky.
Los Angeles goal, a power play goal, and the 802nd National Hockey League goal scored by number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Taking a look at the 7-Up scoreboard. Crisp, clean, refreshing. The Edmonton Oilers. 4 unanswered goals at the Garden today to beat New York 4-3. Topping the Rangers. Calgary Flames end up those final 3 games of that 6-game road trip with 3 losses, losing yesterday in Washington, falling again today in Carolina. The Hurricanes in Florida right now, it's 4-1 Panthers over St. Louis, and the New Jersey Devils. No worse for wear after that 1-game setback, 3-0 over the Caps, 3:48 to go in the second period.
Let's order the rings. Let's just, what are we playing for? I mean, the Devils, they're not going to lose again the rest of the year. It's just, easy sailing.
Really is remarkable. Stockpiling the points here. What were they saying early on? Fire Lindy and then sorry Lindy in New Jersey? Tables have turned. Here's Nylander over the attacking line. Dumps it down low, comes behind the net for Bunting. Up the left wing wall for Hull. He'll throw it down low in the far corner. Bunting slaps it behind the net. Matthews comes out with it, centers in front. A shot from Nylander, scores. And another turnover by the Penguins that the Leafs capitalize on. Really, 3 miscues from Pittsburgh tonight have ended up in the back of their net. It's 3-0 Toronto.
This is incredible. Who are these guys wearing the black and gold jerseys? I don't recognize them. My goodness gracious. Just a simple puck battle in behind the goal. Ricard Raquel gets his pocket picked by Austin Matthews. Walks out from behind the goal line. And wide open. I mean, wide open. Just standing in the slot is William Nylander. And he pounds a one-timer. No chance for Casey Smith. That was, I don't even think that was 10 feet away. It's probably about 6 feet away. 3-0 Leafs.
Ties John Tavares for the team lead with his 12th goal of the season.
Would you think about a goaltender change here to stir the emotions?
Yes, I would.
It's not Casey's
No, it's no indictment on
Casey.
Casey.
Hanging out to dry here. But so many times you can change the texture. There's almost half a game left here.
8:50 on the clock. 3-0 Toronto in front. They've tacked on 2 over the last 2.5 minutes. There's a wrist shot from the left circle from Archibald, is stopped awkwardly by Shalgren. Falls to the ice at the near post with the puck underneath him.
Yeah, this game is not over. Not by a long shot. But if Casey stays in there, he knows you can go no more than 3. Listen, Shalgren down to our left here is not all that in the bag of chips. No disrespect to Eric Shalgren or the Shalgren family, but I think Casey knows that no matter what, it can't go any higher than 3 to give the Penguins a chance of possibly getting back into this one.
Jeff Petrie in the attacking zone. Down low to Brian Rust. Passes in front and hopped over the stick of Zucker. Maybe a Leaf stick intercepted that. Zucker tries to keep it alive, tied up in the neutral zone. Comes free to Toronto. Here's Dennis Malgin at the right circle, passing back in his own end for Giordano. Left wing for Aston Reese. That pinball's off the linesman. Goes wide of DeSmith. Here's Joseph feeding it forward, out to the neutral zone. Aston Reese finds it there for Toronto. Left wing for Sandin, scoops it up in the air, bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Zucker to it. On the right wing, over the line, opens up as he comes in on the far wall, bumped into by Sandin. Zucker still digging for it. Dan Heinen out there, joining Evgeny Malkin up front. Trying to push it past Zach Aston Reese. He does get it to Malkin on the wall. Up top for Letang. He'll walk the line, blast one off Shalgren and wide. Comes up the near side wall, out of the reach of Petrie, and out to the neutral zone. Letang in his own end, feeds it right wing for Brock McGinn, shy of the attacking line. Hit there at center as Engvall collided with Heinen. He's back on his feet, Dan Heinen, and the Leafs dump it in. Loose on the near side wall, Brock McGinn scoops it up in the air, bounces back to Toronto ice. Sandin gloves it down to his stick, feeds it up ahead and connects with Engvall. Over the line, left wing, a wrist shot wide, bounces to the near side wall. Jeff Carter able to get it to center, but out of the reach of Heinen. Back in come the Leafs. Kerfoot bodied there by McGinn. Letang on the far side. Comes behind the net for Marcus Pettersson. He'll skate left wing. Lifted out to center for Brock McGinn. Takes a shoulder from Sandin. Can't get it deep. Liljegren left wing for Kerfoot. Ahead for Pontus Holmberg. His goal, the second of 3 for the Leafs in this game. And the first of 2 for them this period. Holmberg over the line. Right side for Engvall. Cross ice pass just missed Kerfoot. From the far corner, he'll slap it all the way around. Justin Hall on the near side. Hit there by Gensel. Put back down low by Pettersson for Letang. He'll scoop it out to center ice. Giordano finds Bunting there. Pushes it forward for Matthews. Twists it ahead, but it's picked off by the Penguins. It's Genselin down the left side. Carries the puck behind the net on the forehand. Right side, Raquel rips one off the left shoulder of Shalgren. Hit the end wall. Shalgren covers the rebound with Crosby whacking away. He's tied up by Giordano.
Oh, good play there by the Crosby line. It's Jake Gensel carrying the puck into the zone, going around the net. While that was happening, Ricard Raquel kind of peeled off. Instead of center lane drive, he peeled off and went back out in the high slot and opened up for a one-timer that went off the shoulder of Shalgren. And then Sidney Crosby with a couple hacks and whacks.
Face off here to the left of Shalgren. Turned aside all 13 Penguin shots he's seen so far. Giordano back behind his own net for Hull. Hits Marner, dumps it into the Penguin zone. Joseph able to get there first and cause the icing against Toronto.
One thing I'm also a little surprised at Mike Sullivan, and this is a bit of a message to the players that, you know, as flat as they've been, he hasn't changed any of the lines at all. So that's a message that I still believe in you. I still believe there's enough time left that he sees something to keep everybody together.
6:11 to go in this second period. Crosby wins the face-off to Letang, left point, shuffles along the line, drifts to the right side, a wrist shot, bounced around, went wide. Petrie picks it up in the near corner, he's up on the play, down low for Gensel. Right circle, Letang, wires one wide. Comes up the wall, out of the reach of Petrie, and all the way back down. Jeff Petrie in his own zone, pushes it away from Marner. Yarncroke hit in the near corner by Letang. Still loose over there. Raquel flips it in the near circle. Tavares steals it away for Toronto. One-hands it inside the left wing circle. That's picked off by Bluger. He'll skate left side out of his own zone through center and dump it in. Teddy Bluger goes after it himself. Throws the body into Mete behind the goal. Mac Hollowell picks it up for Toronto. Over to Mete left side. He'll pass it out to the neutral zone for Dennis Malgin. Turns it over at center for Paling. And he'll skip it off the glass right back into the Toronto end, but not deep. Penguins have not done that. Or have done that, rather, not getting it deep quite a bit here in the second period. Trying to gain some consistent offensive zone time. Jan Ruda back in his own end. Comes behind the net, backhands near side for Brian Dumoulin. Pushes it out to center for Paling. Hopped off his stick, but no icing as it comes down to the Toronto ice. Lilligren, right side for Sandin. Up the right wing wall for Camp. Stepped into by Dumoulin, tries to push it deeper and does. Picked up behind the net by Sandin, runs into Malkin, centers in front for Paling, couldn't handle the pass. Comes free to Lilligren right side, he'll skate out of his own zone, push it forward for Aston Reese. Chips that into the Penguins' end. P.O. Joseph with it there, spins away from Aston Reese, knocked to the ice, and we got a penalty coming up here as the Leafs touch the puck. Tripping the call against Zach Aston Reese. And Pittsburgh to the IGS Energy power play when we come back. They need one. They trail 3-0. 4:36 to go in the second on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is Layla.
Hello.
She roasts her own brand of coffee.
It's true.
She uses FedEx for all her shipping needs.
Sure do.
Just today, a celebrity chef raved about her breakfast blend to his millions of followers, which very unexpectedly has her business trending.
Whoa.
Now, she's got a lot to do.
I'm on it.
Good thing Layla uses FedEx to prepare for unexpected demand. Because you never know what's next. FedEx, where now meets next.
Hey Penguins fans, put some flavor in your season with Snapple. Here at Snapple, we are serious about flavor. Snapple's got tasty tea and real fruit flavors, all mixed to perfection. So try some of our favorite flavors, including peach tea, diet peach tea, or Snapple apple tea at your local retailer. Snapple is the official tea and juice sponsor of your Pittsburgh Penguins. Put some flavor in your break. Make time for Snapple.
Pittsburgh knows the strength of a good team. At Tri-State Office Furniture, everyone brings something unique to the table, and we use those abilities to strengthen our team. We go above and beyond to find what's right for you, because once you're in the Tri-State family, you're a part of our team.
Running your business is tough. Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
A reminder that we want your tweets in the second intermission, so tweet us at Penguins Live, hashtag Penguins Live, as we tweet the old 2-9er. At Brian_Metzer, at Penguins Live, hashtag Penguins Live. Bring those tweets to us, and Metz and Borky will chat and go through them during the second intermission tonight.
Mike Sullivan back to the 1-4 power play. One defenseman, Chris Letang. Jeff Petrie's off the number 1 unit. Brian Russ is back up with the number 1 unit.
Gensel, Crosby, and Malkin, the other forwards. Turnover here by the Leafs off the draw. It's rushed across to Crosby, who fires wide from the right wing circle. Kept in at the line by Letang. Good hustle there. Wobbles it across to Malkin. Passes right side for Crosby. Turns it over to Marner. He'll flick it out to center. Look out. Potentially a chance short-handed for Kampf, but he'll peel off, and DeSmith will leave it for Letang. Chris Letang drops it through center for Jake Gensel. Feeds it near side for Malkin. Banks it ahead for Gensel in the near corner. Throws it behind the net. Bounces on the far wall for Crosby. Up to the right point, Letang slides it across for Malkin. Spins it back to Letang, to Crosby. Skate to stick, right wing circle. Across for Malkin, hopped over his stick. Pushes it back to the point for Letang. Couple sliding efforts from Malkin to Letang. Has the puck make its way to Crosby. Gensel to the near side for Malkin. Chops it all the way around with 1:05 left on the IGS Energy power play. It's Rust to the point for Letang. Over to Gensel, left circle. Cross ice pass hits the shin pads of Rust and bounces out the center.
Penguins, that's when they're the worst enemy. When they try to pass through the seam, east-west, the percentage of that play happening is in the single digits.
Letang in the neutral zone. A pass off a stick up into the Penguins bench and out of play.
Chris Letang just takes himself off the ice here. He's just disgusted right now. Mike Sullivan says, okay, everybody else off. Boy, they had it going on too, Josh.
They did. They were
just
moving it.
One decision to try to put it through 3 sticks and 15 skates. Unhinged the power play. It looks like they were about to get the Penguins on the board.
Second unit out there for the final 40 seconds of this IGS Energy power play as Heinen rips it right back in. Mete bumped into behind the net, played up the wall by Liljegren, kept into the left point by Heinen. Across he goes for Petrie. Shuffles along the line. Hits Raquel, right wing, wrist shot save. Shalgren and a rebound put wide atop the crease. Cleared by the Leafs all the way back down. 15 seconds left on the minor to Zach Aston Reese. 2:50 to go in this second period. It's Petrie, left side for Raquel, over the line. Backhands it cross ice, and it bounces out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, Rickard Raquel's just got to keep shooting the puck.
Here's Jeff Carter, leaving it for Raquel at center. He's over the attacking line. It's Zucker, banks it to Carter. Right circle for Raquel, back to the far wall, past Carter, and cleared all the way down by Pontus Holmberg. As out of the box was Aston Reese. That Penguins power play is over, but it's icing against Toronto.
Well, a little push here, as you would imagine, when the Penguins went down 3-0. There is a little bit of a blip on the heart rate of the Penguins here to get back into this game. They now have 9 shots here in the period. Most of them come in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Jan Ruda in the attacking end, trying to keep it alive. It rolls out the center. Jake Gensel plays it there near side for Joseph. Up ahead for Raquel, deflects that into the attacking zone. Liljegren snaps it right wing for Engvall. Hands it off to Pontus Holmberg. He gains the line right side, shouldered by Gensel into the wall. Protects the puck well, though, and gets it behind the net to the far corner. P.O. Joseph tied up there. Comes free to Aston Reese for Toronto. Back to the point, Sandin. Right side to Hull. Wrist shot, changed direction. Tipped wide by Holmberg. Ruda scoops it in the air out the center with 1:45 left in the period. Justin Hull back in his own end. Left side for Sandin. Back over to Hull. Feeds it right wing for Willie Nylander. The third of the 3 Toronto goals here tonight belongs to him. Backhands left side for Sandin. He'll rip it in. Comes to the near corner. P.O. Joseph overskates. Nylander down low, centers in front. A tip by Matthews was blocked by Ruda, and the Pens go the other way. It's Zucker skating through the neutral zone, left wing. In the near corner, hit there by Sandin, dug for by Malkin. Good work by Zucker, back to the point for Dumoulin. Wrist shot blocked. Malkin to the puck, right circle, a shot there. Off the stick of Pettersson, off the right pad of Shalgren. And the Leafs go back up ice. It's Nylander. His pass knocked down by Dumoulin over to Pettersson. Plays it off the outside of the net. Dumoulin was flat-footed, and Matthews picks up the puck, kicks it up the near wall, picked off there by Rustin, shuffled out to center ice. 50 seconds to go in the second period as the puck comes wide at the Smith into the far corner. Pedersen to the near side for Brian Dumoulin, scoops it in the air out to center. Jarnkrok in his own zone for Liljegren. Inside the near circle, snaps it forward for Marner. Backhands ahead and finds Jarnkrok over the line. Left wing at the far circle. Wrist shot off the mask of the Smith. He makes the save, and it bounces to the far circle. Archibald curls it out to center. Paling finds it there. Chips it left wing for Dumoulin. He'll dump it in with 20 seconds to go, and the Penguins are offside.
And another big save there. That's what I'm talking about. Casey Smith.
Yep.
Has got to stop the bleeding here. And Calle Jarnkrok took a beautiful, what a pass that was by Marner.
Wow.
That must have been a 35, 40 foot, maybe even further. The backhand Sasha pass caught Jarnkrok in full stride, and he used Marcus Pedersen as a screen, and he let a wrister go that hit Casey Smith right up by the collarbone.
Penguins control the neutral zone draw. It's Petrie right side for Letang, and he'll lift that back into Toronto's end. 10 seconds left in the period. Sandin left side to Aston Reese, chops it out to center for Dennis Mulligan. He's run into by Petrie, knocked off the puck, loose in the neutral zone. It's Letang for Raquel with a second left. He'll hold on to the puck, and that will do it for the second period of play. So Toronto adds to their lead in the second. Goals from Pontus Holmberg and Willie Nylander, and they will hold a 3-0 lead as we get set for the third. But before that, a couple things coming your way. First, Brian Metzer with a recap of the second period. And also, we'll tweet the old 2-9er at Penguins Live, hashtag Penguins Live at Brian_Metzer. Stay tuned for Metz and Borky to answer your questions in the second intermission as well. After 3-0 Toronto on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Say hello to the official lineup of your Pittsburgh Penguins. The Bronco, the Mustang, two legends in one on any team. Maverick, the newest hotshot, who handles the puck like a dream. Mach-E, just absolutely electric out there. And the built Ford Tough Enforcer F-150. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
As the official retail and digital bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, First National Bank is behind every goal. We're behind top-shelf one-timers. And we're behind first-time homeowners. We're behind checking the kills penalties for the Penguins. We're also behind checking the kills penalties for our customers. At First National Bank, we're behind every goal. Let's get started on yours at fnb-online.com. FNB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 766529.
Sometimes a little refresh makes all the difference. Some new structure. A little change. That's why Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield is reinventing. We're rethinking the way we do health coverage to bring you health like never before. It's more simplified, streamlined. It's coverage that connects you to your health.
And he's back on the ice.
No matter where you're headed in life. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
When you drink a pristine Canadian Pilsner, you're good at beer. Pens fans, grab a Labatt Blue Light and be good at beer. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, copyright 2021, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York, all rights reserved. Labatt registered U.S. trademark of the Labatt Brewing Company, Ltd. Message for 21 plus.
Stop by the Saxon Inn in Natrona Heights for 250 Labatt Blue or Blue Light bottles during all Penguins games.
Now it's time for the second period recap, brought to you by Giant Eagle and Snapple. Now back to the Penguins Radio Network.
The Toronto Maple Leafs 3, the Pittsburgh Penguins nothing. After 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena, Brian Metzer here with you, and that second period of action did not go much better than the first. In fact, it was a little worse because obviously they're down 3-0. The Penguins did show life the rest of, or most of that period. They were being outshot 7-1 at one point, and from the 6:35 mark on, they ended up outshooting the Leafs 9-2. but unfortunately both of those shots on goal were goals for the Maple Leafs, one of which came at 9:55 when it was Pontus Holmberg, got his second of the season, finishing off a Marner pass from the corner. Chris Letang, as you heard Borky talking about, kind of shanked a shot on one end. The puck comes up ice, and they had a dump in, and Letang went to play it. It was bouncing, and Marner comes in to try and get the puck. He nips skates with him a little bit, and Letang looked like he was looking for a call while the play just progressed and the goal was scored. They were not done, though, because at 10:50, William Nylander would get his 12th of the season from Matthews and Bunting. Again, this is a play where Justin Holl held the puck in the zone, threw it down the wall, got it in behind the net where Jan Ruda was covering Bunting. Ricard Raquel was behind the net with Austin Matthews, and then you had Sidney Crosby, Jake Gensel, and Brian Dumoulin kind of out in front, leaving Nylander unchecked, and he was able to take a pass and score the goal, and that is where we stand. Each team did have a power play in the period. Jeff Petrie went for interference 54 seconds in, and on the other end, Zach Aston-Reese, the former Penguin, went for tripping at 15:24. Nobody was able to cash in on those. The Penguins are now 7 for their last 53 power plays, but they have killed off I believe it's 16 straight since Teddy Bluger rejoined the lineup on November 15th. Shots on goal in the period, 10-10. 27-15 overall in favor of the Leaf. When we come back, we're going to tweet the old 2-9er. Tweet us at Penguins Live or at Brian_Metzer. I'll give you Borky's answers next in the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is the S&T Bank second period instant radio replay.
Brought to you by S&T Bank, proud presenting sponsor of the Penguins Radio Network.
Up the left wing wall for Hull. He'll throw it down low in the far corner. Bunting slaps it behind the net. Matthews comes out with it, centers in front, a shot from Nylander, scores. And another turnover by the Penguins that the Leafs capitalize on. Really, 3 miscues from Pittsburgh tonight have ended up in the back of their net. It's 3-0 Toronto.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette delivers the news that matters to you. We deliver coast to coast with award-winning coverage of world events. We deliver in the zone with the latest local news in your community. We deliver whether you're home or away with on-the-fly digital access. And of course, we deliver on the ice with hard-hitting hockey coverage and in-depth news from around the league. For Pittsburgh and the greatest hockey fans around, nobody delivers like the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Hey, Nissan, how do you get to the top?
Calculating. Proceed to 1959. Take a hard left in East Africa at the 71 Safari Rally. Veer right for 19 off-road championships in the Baja Desert. Proceed towards Moab. Take the trail to Hell's Revenge. Include steep incline. Continue for the next 1,000,000 miles.
Where to first again?
60 years, millions of miles, and the capability to take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Get the perfect holiday gifts for hockey fans on your list at NHLShop.com. The world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and more. All the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special holiday offer. NHLShop.com. A Fanatics experience.
Having a deep lineup is a huge advantage for the Pens and their official jeweler. At Orr's Jewelers, you'll find Pittsburgh's biggest selection of fine Swiss watches, the top brands, and the hottest styles for any budget and any occasion. Plus an all-star team to help you choose the best matchup for your personal style. So stop by Orr's and score yourself a top-shelf wrister. Orr's Jewelers, the official jeweler of your Pittsburgh Penguins. Orr's rocks.
Tweet the old 2-9er, sponsored by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a law firm helping injured people.
Leafs 3, Penguins nothing after 2 here in Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer back with you. Now I'm joined by the old 2-9er himself, Phil Bork, because it's time to tweet the old 2-9er. Borky, your first one tonight comes in from Alyssa, and she just said, what is it about teams like the Leafs that give the Penguins headaches? Is it just their speed, not being able to skate with them?
I don't think it's the speed. I think the Penguins are feeding into it. They have some speedy players. Penguins have some speedy players too.
Sure.
And when Penguins are winning, do we ever talk about the Penguins' speed? No, you never talk about it.
It's usually on display, yeah.
Right, it's on display. But when they're losing, you feel like they're chasing the game and they don't look as quick a foot. That's fair, because the brain and the I said it on the air, that both the brain and the body are not firing the way it needs to fire against a team that's 8-1-3 of their last 12 coming in here, and they're feeling it. And they've got some skilled forwards, and I think the Penguins, because they've mismanaged the puck so many times, they fed into the Toronto Maple Leafs offense, making them look faster.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes against this team. Off My Moorings wanted to know, and I'm gonna tease something quick before we ask the question. Borky's book, If These Walls Could Talk, co-written with Josh Yohe. The holidays right around the corner. I saw a big stack of them at Barnes & Noble, and I'm only bringing it up because you tell the story in your book. But they wanted to know here, did you know you wanted to do something in radio after hanging up your skates, or did it kind of play out that way?
No, I did. I actually interviewed for the TV job when they were going to make a change, and it came down to Eddie Olczyk and myself as the finalists. And they took Edzo. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. I knew he had other experience. He had done some horse racing and stuff before. So I said, I'll take a year off. I'll have some fun. I bought a RV. I bought a motorcycle. I went bungee jumping. I went, did a bunch of crazy stuff. That 1 year turned into 3 years, and that's the story in the book that, eventually I had to pick up the phone. I hadn't worked in 3 years. I called Mario. I said, hey, man, I need some help. He said, stay by the phone. Let me see if something. That's when they took Eddie Olczyk out of the TV booth, put him behind the bench. Bob Erie went from radio to TV, and I've been here since 03.
Yeah, I was close to the year. Cindy here asked me, and I was like, I think it's when Edzo left to go coach the team.
Yep.
And Robert, who checks in with us fairly frequently, has a picture of his red wine. He's with you with the red tonight. He needs it watching this game. So he wanted to tell you that.
Well, I'll be home. I'll uncork a nice bottle of red, let it breathe a little bit, and I will get my rule book out, and I want to find this rule. I'm gonna replay what the referee said there, because the puck stopping, the momentum of the puck stopping in the blue paint, I never knew that meant the play was completely dead. But that's the way it was described there, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to say it quick because I know we're almost out of time. I found something that says puck entering the net as a culmination of a continuous play where the result of the play was unaffected by the whistle blown by the referee upon his losing sight. So I think he's using that, but it's not how that played out.
That sounds Chinese to me. I need some red to decipher.
Get the red. Yeah. Thanks for the Sporky.
Okay, pal.
Yep, that is the old 2-9er, and it's always fun to do this segment with them. When we come back, news, notes, and scores from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Visit Nakama, Southside and Wexford for Pittsburgh's best hibachi and sushi. Happy hour features half-off appetizers, $10 sushi rolls, and discounted drafts, well drinks, and house wines. Nakama is also available for takeout and Uber Eats. Enjoy made-to-order sushi, fried rice, egg rolls, and savory noodles while cheering on the Pens from the comfort of your own home.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Life-changing is a nursing career where you have the power to take the lead and opportunities to make real change, where you work alongside colleagues that care and see inspiration every day, where you're celebrated for who you are and have the support you need for what matters most to you. Life-changing is being a nurse at UPMC. Explore your career options today at upmc.com/nursing.
As the official security provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Vector Security is invested in the success of the entire Western Pennsylvania area. If you run a business here, they understand your primary focus is serving your customer, and a big part of that is making sure that your customers, your employees, and your inventory are all safe and secure. Vector Security can help. Schedule a free business security health check today, and one of their local security experts will assess your needs. Visit them online at vectorsecurity.com/pens to learn more.
Hey fans, the official ice cream cake of the Penguins is at Dairy Queen. Enjoy creamy vanilla and chocolate DQ soft serves separated with a layer of fudge and crunch. Stop into your local DQ or order online at dqcakes.com. DQ, happy tastes good.
It's time for the scoreboard, brought to you by 7-Up. Do more with 7-Up.
Penguins trail the Leafs 3-0 after 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer back with you, and a couple other games still going here. The Blues and Panthers tied at 4 in Sunrise. 22 seconds left. Look like they're on the way to overtime. The Devils now up to a 3-0 lead over the Capitals in New Jersey. 16:40 to go in the third. Jack Hughes with a pair in that one of which sounds like it was an impossible angle right along the goal line. People are raving about it on Twitter. Go check it out if you get a chance. The Islanders and Flyers 2-2, 2:24 to go in the second period in that one. That's in the Islanders building. And then the finals from earlier, the Oilers beat the Rangers 4-3. The Hurricanes beat the Flames 3-2, and of course Blue Jackets and Predators were postponed. A couple later face-off. Stars go into Colorado at 9 p.m. and the Canucks will take on the Golden Knights in Vegas at 10 p.m. When we come back in Pittsburgh, third period between the Leafs and Penguins. Josh Getzoff and Phil Bork will bring you all the action next, and it comes your way on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey everybody, I'm Andy Cohen. Hear me and my awesome lineup on Radio Andy. Andy Cohen Live. Jeff Lewis Live.
Smith Sisters Live.
Reality Check.
Revelations.
Now with new shows.
Gail King in the house.
It's Me Tanks.
The Jess Cagle Show.
From pop culture to show-stopping moments.
Jennifer Lopez.
Lil Nas X. Lisa Kudrow. Ricky Martin. Kevin Hart. I'm bringing Oops back.
Radio Andy. Sirius XM 102.
Sirius XM radios are on free now through December 5th. Visit SiriusXM.com/listen free to see what's on.
Historic hockey moments.
October 15th, 1989, the Great One passes his childhood idol, Mr. Hockey, for most points scored.
Gretzky has 1,850 points. The Taylor to Gretzky, he scores! He's done it! Wayne Gretzky, the Great One, has become the greatest of them all!
Ladies and gentlemen, Gordie Howe.
A super young man, a great hockey player who shares in everything he does, and congratulations.
The hockey history continues on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
March 2nd, 1993, Winnipeg hosts Quebec, where Jets forward Teemu Selanne is 3 goals off the pace of Mike Bossy's rookie record.
Teemu Selanne breaks it. He scores! Ladies and gentlemen, as you're all aware, that goal by Teemu Selanne establishes a new NHL record for goals in one season by a rookie.
The Finnish Flash's record-breaking goal came in his 64th NHL game, and he would finish his rookie season with an overall 76 goals.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments. NHL Network Radio.
December 27th, 2000, well into retirement, which included a 1997 Hockey Hall of Fame induction, and also becoming owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux, 44 months after hanging up the skates, called it a comeback.
33 seconds into the game, Mario Lemieux will get an assist in his first shift back. Lemieux scores! Mario, it is back!
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The biggest names in the game.
Quickly in. Here's Giroux going to the net. Shoots one. He scores!
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
This is Jason Zucker, and you're listening to the Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, PPG, official paint of the Penguins. Now from the 84 Lumber broadcast booth, here's Josh Getzoff and Phil Bork.
Welcome back to PPG Paints Arena, getting set for third period action. And the hill is a little steeper than it was after one for the Penguins following 40 minutes. 3-0 Toronto in front. Goals in the second from Pontus Holmberg and Willie Nylander have added to this Leafs lead. And for the Penguins, they now head into this third period down by 3. And Borky just kind of looking for some kind of reason to generate some momentum. It's been hard to find consistent shifts to string together action in the Leafs end that leads to anything positive for this team tonight.
No, don't feel sorry for yourself. I mean, Penguins have had comebacks like this before. They've had comebacks like this against the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you got to get one early, right? You get one early. Maybe you get a lucky bounce. Maybe you get one from your fourth line. Maybe you get one from a defenseman. Special teams goal. You break it down. You embrace the challenge. You got a great fan base here that's ready to really get behind you. Now, if the Penguins can get one here in the first 5 minutes, that would be the first box checked.
The 12th time in 23 games, the Leafs have taken a lead into the third period. They're 8-0-3 in those situations. Penguins yet to win when trailing after 2, so no time like the present to reverse that. 0-5 after 2 periods when down so far this season. It'll be Sidney Crosby and John Tavares on the third period faceoff, brought to you by number 1 Cochran, won by Tavares and controlled by Hull, who snaps it back down to the Penguin zone. We got a penalty right off the drop of the puck. It looked like a slashing minor on Hull.
Jake Gensel.
Jake Gensel,
okay. Stick on Hull. Right off the face off. What are we doing, Josh?
It is the same people as last night. It's definitely not the same team on the ice.
You have to believe all the right things were said, but Jake Gensel with a pretty good chop. And the evidence is right there.
Yep.
I mean, a two-hand chop right into the hand of Justin Hull. And 6 seconds into the third period, down 3-0. You got to kill a penalty.
Yes. Leafs power play 0 for 2 so far in this game. They have put 6 shots on goal in their first 2 opportunities. They control off the draw here. Sandin right side to Nylander on the far wall. Curls away from the pressure of Brock McGinn. Center point for Sandin. Left side to Marner. Fanned on the shot. It fluttered in on Smith, who made the save as it comes near side. Brian Dumoulin picks it up behind his own net over to Brock McGinn. He'll rip that the length of the ice. Bounces in on Shalgren, who has to play it. And he scoops it near side.
Just when I did say a goal from special teams, I wasn't a stretch. I was also thinking that there could be a shorty coming the Penguins' way.
Here come the Leafs over the line. John Tavares at the left circle, drops it back for Sandin. Across he goes for Nylander. Puts it back to the point. Sandin now on the right side receives that pass. Over to Nylander, right wing circle, snapper up over the net, rattles off the glass. Weird bounce, swatted back to the goal by Marner. And DeSmith got across, moving left to right to stop it as the Penguins clear it all the way down.
But as a penalty killer, you have to know that situation. Down 3-0. If you have a chance, go for it. Yep. Don't just have the blinders up and think, I have to ice the puck every time I get it. You got to look for those opportunities.
Dennis Mulligan out through center, left wing for Pierre Engvall, stood up at the line, and it's driven back down to the Leafs end by Bluger. Mark Giordano in the near corner. Pressured by McGinn, skates left wing. Hits Engvall, curls it back in his own zone for Michael Bunting. 35 seconds on the power play for Toronto. Pass from Bunting, knocked down at the line by Bluger. Giordano, left side for Engvall. He'll drop it in. Pettersson first to it behind the net, rips up the wall, hit a body, came free to Mulligan. Pass back to the line, but nobody there for Toronto. It's found in the neutral zone by Giordano. Curls it right side for Hull. Fresh on the ice, just hopped over the boards, passes back to Giordano. 14 seconds left on the Coppers' penalty kill for Pittsburgh. He'll pass right wing for Justin Hull. Over center red, stick lifted by Paling as he looked to dump it in. Puck still comes back behind the Penguin net. Hull nearly run over by Archibald. He got out of the way at the last second. Ruda gets it ahead to Archibald, chops it through center as Gensel's out of the box. He'll chase after the puck into the Toronto zone. On the right wing wall, it's found by Archibald. Throws it off the end wall, skips left side, back to the left point for Dumoulin. Blasts one off the glove of Shalgren. It's Ruda with a rebound attempt that pinballs wide. Crosby leaned on in the far corner by Camp, kicks it free for Kerfoot, slides it in the air out to center, and it bounces back into the Penguin zone. 2 minutes, 40 seconds gone in this third period. 3-0, Toronto in front. Two teams split the first 2 meetings. Penguins winning 4-2 in Toronto. Leafs returning the favor with a 5-2 win here in Pittsburgh. Joseph right side for Sidney Crosby. He comes back into his own zone. Penguin captain a goal last night in Philly. Dishes it left side for Raquel. Over the line into the left wing circle. A backhander chopped to the near corner. Picked up by Gensel. Back down low to Sidney Crosby. On the forehand up top right side. Letang curls it in the center point. Joseph wrist shot rattles wide. Raquel tried to tuck it in at the near post, and Shalgren got over with that left leg to keep it out and freeze it.
Yeah, he got enough on that. That baby might have gone in if Shalgren didn't get from right to left so quick and jam his left skate up against the post. That was a sneaky little play by Raquel to get just a little bit on the backhand. Oh, baby, that was close to going in.
We have face-off here to the left of Eric Shalgren. He's turned aside all 18 Penguin shots he has seen so far in this game. Shalgren has one career shutout.
How many shutouts?
Just one.
One shutout.
Yep. No shutouts this season, though.
Okay.
That was in previous year's action, the shutout. As Mitch Marner knocks it back down into the Penguin zone. Here's Letang behind the net, backhands left side. And Rust lost an edge there, tumbled into the wall as the puck came out to the neutral zone. Rust battling for the neutral zone, slides it ahead for Malkin, chops it right wing for Letang. He'll dump it in, but the Penguins are offside. And that shift in 20 seconds right there was a bit of an adventure for Brian Rust.
Rust is still trying to find his way. It's been a battle. 3 games without a point, 1 goal in his last 11. That was kind of an empty netter, right, where Sidney Crosby was able to strip the puck from Connor Hellebuck and feed it to Brian Rust for basically a tap-in empty net goal.
I'm not sure of the total amount of games, but that game he had a goal and an assist. Those are his only 2 points in at least a 10-game stretch for Brian Rust. The Pens have it back in their own end. It's Zucker playing it out to the neutral zone for Rust. Drops it from Malkin over the line. Dances around Hollowell. Throws it on net. Save made by Shalgren. And the rebound cleared by Hollowell. Well, Mac Hollowell almost wound up on a highlight reel, but Shalgren bailed him out. Hollowell back in his own end. Passes near side for Mete. Up ahead for Holmberg. Steers it forward for Engvall. Tosses it to the net on the left wing. That's sticked aside by DeSmith. Here's Pettersson turning it over to Kerfoot. Down low for Engvall along the goal line. Protects the puck well on that near side wall. In the left circle for Holmberg. His shot was blocked. Carter tries to clear. Gets it forward for Zucker, who drives it towards the Leafs' end. Sandin inside his own zone. Passes up the left wing. Picked off by Carter, who might be pissed off. He finds Ruda, who dumps it in. Comes on the far side. McGinn chops it around near corner for Heinen. Rolled off his stick. Kept it at the line. Penguins collide. Dumoulin and Heinen. Heinen is hurt by that as the Leafs come the other way. It's Aston Reese, a wrister that's gobbled up by DeSmith at the near post, and he'll freeze it.
Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to get my wish what I wanted in the beginning of this third period. That was a goal in the first 5 minutes, but there has been a pretty good push here by the Penguins.
Yep. Four shots for the Penguins in the first 4 minutes and 58 seconds of this period. Still 3-0 Toronto. Face off to the right of DeSmith. Controlled by Pittsburgh. Here's Ruda scooping it up the near side wall out to the neutral zone. Josh Archibald pushes it back down to the Toronto end. David Kampf steers it behind the net for Liljegren up the right wing wall out through the defensive end. Picked up by Archibald. A shot comes off the left toe of Shalgren. That changed direction as Ruda gets it to Poehling. Back down low for Bluger. Up top to Jan Ruda. Left side for Dumoulin. Throws it off the end wall. Rolls atop the crease. Active stick from Shalgren. Sends it to the far corner. Corralled there by Ryan Poehling. Tried to pass it. Came free on the far wall. Picked up there by Mulligan. Scoops it out the center. Aston Reese collects for the Leafs and one-hands it into the Penguin zone. He's tied up behind the net with Jan Ruda. Still loose back there as Teddy Bluger joins the fray. Aston Reese comes away with the puck. Back to the right point for Hull. Wrist shot. Changed direction. Good tip by Matthews. Better stop by DeSmith. And he falls on his back to keep his legs pinned together and keep the puck out.
Oh my goodness gracious. What a incredible reflex save by Casey DeSmith to keep this 3-0. What seemed like a harmless shot from the right point got deflected on the way in. We had a similar situation for the Penguins down the other end where Shalgren made a great reflex save with the right toe, and Casey DeSmith with full extension with the right pad. That's just an incredible athletic effort by Casey DeSmith to make that save.
Chris Letang controls for the Penguins off the draw, snaps it up the right side. Intercepted there by Giordano, puts it back into the Penguins' end. Joseph, right wing for Letang, out of his own zone, crosses center red, gains the attacking line of the slot, wrist shot blocked. Comes up the high part of the glass in the near corner, and it's cleared by Giordano. He finds Bunting at center, hands it off to Matthews over the line, tried to deke on the left wing, lost the handle, got it back, puts it back behind the goal. Bunting tried to come out with it, lost possession. Comes free to Joseph. He'll swing it around left side for Jake Gensel. 6.5 gone in the third. Leafs in front 3-0 to have it back in their own end. Mac Hollowell feeds it forward off the skates of Nylander to Rust. He'll backhand forward for Gensel, who steers it into his own zone for Jeff Petrie. Passing right wing for Brian Rust. Snaps it cross ice looking for Malkin. Read perfectly by Tavares. He'll go the other way for the Leafs as the captain for Toronto dumps it in. He'll push it to the near corner. Found there by Rust. Backhands down low. Collected there by Pettersson. Onto the far side for Petrie. Fired out to the neutral zone for Zucker. He'll dump it in. Shalgren out of his net. Turns it over. Here's Rust. Back to the point. Bouncing puck settled by Pettersson. Swung near side for Petrie. Top the right wing circle. He'll toss it to Malkin. Just inside the line. Drops it for Petrie. Near corner for Zucker. Into the right wing circle. It's found by Petrie. Dangles to the forehand on the far side. Back to the point for Malkin. A bomb deflected and stopped by Shalgren. Zucker was atop the crease. Puck comes out to center. Look out. Getting past Petrie was Jarnkrok. Petrie closed the gap quickly, though, as Jarnkrok had to stop on the near side wall and dump it in. Malkin picks up the puck there. Tries to deke around Jarnkrok. Knocked off his stick. Gets it back. Finds Petrie, or Pettersson rather, to Petrie. Up the right wing for Zucker. He'll dump it in.
I imagine as we tick it down to 12 minutes left in regulation here, I would assume that Mike Sullivan would shrink his bench here and go to 3 lines.
Here's Kerfoot dumping it in on the near side. Whips it around to the far wall. Picked off there by Heinen. Turns it over, though, to Holmberg. Skates on the right side. Down low with it. Behind the net for Kerfoot. On the forehand. Moves his way to the far wall. Back to the point for Liljegren. Near side. Sandin snaps it off the end wall. Big bounce. That came off in a hurry, but pinballs back into the near corner. Up to the point it comes for Sandin. Right side to Engvall. Across for Kerfoot. Couldn't catch the pass. Sandin does. He dumps it back down low. Engvall. Into the slot for Kerfoot. Stick check by Heinen. Run over by McGinn. Comes back to the point. A shot from Liljegren is blocked. McGinn broke his stick, so he couldn't make a play on the puck. Ruda picks it up, and he dumps it in. Carter, big hit in the near corner. Collides there with Liljegren as it comes free to Sandin. Backhands out through center for Kampf. Through the neutral zone. Right wing feed for Malgin. Snap shot blocker save to Smith. Comes back to the near corner. Letang unaware of the Leaf right behind him. Nearly got his pocket picked by Kampf. Comes free on the near side. Pettersson dekes around Malgin. Right side for Crosby. Throws it into the Leaf zone. Hole will pick it up there on the right wing. Passes forward for Malgin. Couldn't catch that. Kampf does. Corralled by Malgin. Left side for Aston Reese. In shoots. Left pad save and a beauty from DeSmith. Malgin to it. Right side for Kampf. Back to Malgin. Slaps one. That's stopped by DeSmith, and there's no rebound as we will step aside. 10:35 to go in the third. Toronto 3, Pittsburgh nothing on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hear every NFL game on Sirius XM.
That's getting something going.
It's easy to find all the Sunday afternoon action on your radio. The home teams air on channels 225 through 234.
Touchdown! Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes Mansion.
And away teams on channels 380 through 392.
Touchdown Buffalo! Josh Allen, what a play!
Take your hometown announcers anywhere. Just search for your team on the SXM app. Go to SiriusXM.com/NFL schedule for game times and channel listings.
I can't believe it!
Historic hockey moments.
The Messier Guarantee. May 25th, 1994, the New York Rangers face elimination in Game 6 against the New Jersey Devils.
Under 8 minutes to play in the third and a 2-2 tie. Kovalov, save, rebound, score! Messier! For the empty net, Mark Messier. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? He said we will win Game 6. He has just picked up the hat trick.
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
New Year's Day, January 1st, 2008, at the home of the NFL's Buffalo Bills, Ralph Wilson Stadium.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Buffalo Sabres are set to play despite the snow that's been falling all morning, and more than 73,000 are here to witness it. In the game they're calling the Winter Classic. Penguins win! Snow flying in their faces as they celebrate.
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Well, both these teams have been playing pretty good hockey lately coming into tonight. In fact, their last regulation loss was to the other. For the Penguins, it was here 2 Tuesdays ago against these Leafs, where they fell 5-2. For Toronto, you got to go back to November 11th. 15 days ago, a 4-2 Pittsburgh win on that Hall of Fame night at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs in front 3-0 here and control this game. They control off the offensive zone draw. Giordano puts it down low, picked up on the right wing wall by Nylander. For Matthews, his shot blocked by Paling to the far corner. Driven forward by Joseph and knocked out to the neutral zone. Archibald settles that bouncing puck, drops it for Bluger. He fell to his knees, back to his feet. Left wing feed to the point for Joseph. Stutter step around Nylander. Wrist shot. Shalgren never saw it and went wide.
Went down on the butterfly and was just locked in. Never moved it. That puck's on net, it's in.
Here's Justin Hull back in his own end. 10 minutes left in regulation. Deficit is 3 for Pittsburgh. Toronto up 3-0. Pass from Hull missed Marner. That comes all the way down. And Petrie will pick it up. Icing against Toronto.
Well, when you're searching for a personal injury attorney, 3 questions really matter. Number 1, well, the attorneys whose name is on the door, they're going to be involved in your case. Number 2, do they have a 99.7% success rate? Number 3, is their fee only 25%, not 40% all the time, every time, no matter if the case goes all the way to the Supreme Court? In Western PA, only one law firm can answer yes to all 3. Shenderovich, and Fishman. For a free consultation, call 1-888-98-TWINS or visit 98twins.com. They really do have your back, not your wallet.
Gotta say, I thought about them today driving. It was beautiful outside. I wondered if they were on the links out on the course.
Oh, yeah.
Take advantage of a day like this. Face-off won by the Penguins, but Rust misfires on the pass to Dumoulin. At the point, that comes all the way back down to the Penguin zone. Leafs out shooting Pittsburgh 36-22. And really, that's been the theme from the first period on, when Toronto put 17 shots on Casey DeSmith to the Penguins 5. Dumoulin over to Zucker. He'll rip it in. Behind the net, Mitch Marner. To the near side, carries the puck down low for Sandin in his own end. Right wing, it's Liljegren. Up the wall for Tavares. Deflects it out through center, back down to the Penguins' end. Rust, right side for Ruda. Skates right wing, over the red line. Gains the Toronto line, pushes it deep. Here's Mete, poking it to the far corner for Kerfoot. Slaps that forward for Holmberg. Out through center, over the attacking line, right wing. Leaned on by Zucker, run into by Letang as it comes back down behind the net. Zucker stripped of the puck by Engvall. Kerfoot tries to go deep with it. He's tied up on the near side wall. Dug out by Malkin. Puck out in the neutral zone. Looked for there by Kerfoot. Spins away from Raquel. He'll come back in on the attack. His pass, though, deflected by Letang, who picks it up for Pittsburgh and moves up the right wing. Pivots away from Engvall and fires forward for Crosby. Snaps it right side. Gensel catches it in stride. Into the right wing circle. Tries to center. Comes to Raquel. Shoots and scores! And there's some life. Raquel rips it up over Shalgren. And it's 3-1 with 8:22 to go.
Ricky, I'm home. I'm upstairs where Mama keeps the peanut butter. Oh, baby. What a shot by Raquel. This pass was not intended for Raquel. This pass was intended for Chris Letang, coming late on the play at the right point. It hits a skate, but great awareness by Raquel. To have a feel where that puck was, it was just behind him, and as he's approaching the goal, between the bottom of the circle and the goal line, he just rips it. It finds a hole, goes upstairs on Shelgren. Penguins have some life. It's 3-1.
Looking for more here in the attacking zone. That Crosby-Raquel Gensel line stays out there. Raquel controlling behind the net. Backhands to Crosby, right circle. 8 minutes on the clock. Crosby skates to the slot. Feeds it left side for Pettersson. Back to Crosby. Center point area. Passes for Letang on the left wing wall. Throws one to the net. Deflected in tight by Crosby. Looking for the backdoor tap in for Raquel. He couldn't find it. And the Leafs are able to get it out to center as Aston Reese is tossed to the ice by Letang.
Kaboom.
He dumps it in. Chris Letang. Time is not necessarily the Penguins' friend right now, but they do have 7.5 minutes to work with, down 2. Here's Nylander. Wrister down the right side. Saved to Smith. There's a rebound. It's picked up by Petrie. Curled right wing for McGinn. Fires forward for Dan Heinen. Snaps that in the Toronto end. He'll get chase himself. Shalgren steers it up the right wing wall. Nylander pokes it to the line. Joseph, good job to keep it in. Jeff Carter coming after it on the near side. Runs over Rasmus Sandin. Sandin back to his feet. Up the left wing for Bunting. Pinching was Petrie. He keeps it alive. Heinen's pass just inside the attacking line is swatted out inadvertently by McGinn. Back down to the Penguins' end. So the goal is Raquel from Gensel and Crosby. Ricard Raquel's 9th goal of the season. Malkin through center. Backhands for Heinen over the line. Lost in his skates. Petrie tried to keep it alive. Delay offside here on the Penguins as the Leafs will look for a clean exit out of their own end. Marner comes up the right wing. Over the Penguin logo. Gains the line into the slot. Snapper blocked by Ruda. Rolls towards the net, and DeSmith finds that rolling puck and freezes it to his left. Some life from the Penguins here with 6:35 to go. Ricard Raquel has made it 3-1 Toronto on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, I'm standing here with Tristan Jari and Richard Bazzi. Richard, it is so great to see you involved in the community and our sports teams.
Hey, thanks, Phil. But being part of the tremendous Penguins culture, this sounds too scripted. I just want to say one thing. The puck stops here.
Hey, whoa. That's my line.
No, it's not. It's mine, and it's Schultz Ford, and it's Phil, and it's you, Tristan. But we all say the puck stops here, and you can have my word on that. Yee! Here comes the crow! Oh, wait.
A great goal helps you enjoy hockey, and Shop and Save helps you enjoy life with the Shop and Save app. Download it today to save with weekly specials and digital coupons. No scissors needed. Just tap on the deals you want, and they're automatically loaded on your Perks card. The app can also help you track your pump perks. Remember, every dollar you spend on your Perks card turns into savings on fuel at over 140 participating Sunoco locations. Shop, save, enjoy life.
Life-changing is a nursing career where you have the power to take the lead and opportunities to make real change, where you work alongside colleagues that care and see inspiration every day, where you're celebrated for who you are and have the support you need for what matters most to you. Life-changing is being a nurse at UPMC. Explore your career options today at upmc.com/nursing.
Well, the Penguins have only played 3 games against the Metro Division, but that will add another name on Tuesday night in their next home game in this 5-game homestand as the Carolina Hurricanes come into town. 6 o'clock on the pregame show on Tuesday, 7 o'clock puck drop for the Pens and the Canes here at PPG Paints Arena. Face off here in the Penguin zone, controlled by Letang. Right side for Gensel, rips it out through center, out of the reach of Giordano, and that is icing against Pittsburgh.
Not sure where Jake was going with that one. He was flat-footed, standing still deep inside the zone. I think he thought that maybe Sid was coming all the way across the ice. That wasn't just a stretch pass, that was a super stretch pass.
I think Sidney Crosby and Jake Gensel, after that icing call, were less than thrilled with the attempt made by Mark Giordano to play the puck.
I concur.
Here's Marcus Pettersson, rips it around the left wing wall out to the neutral zone. Justin Hull back in his own end. 6:15 to go. 3-1 the score. Toronto in front. Giordano lobs it out the center, knocked down by Tavares over the line. He's bumped into by Pettersson. In the near corner, Yarncroc twists it back behind the net. Letang snaps it forward for Ricard Raquel. He has the Penguins' goal. Connects with Letang through center. Back to Raquel over the line. Poked off his stick by Hull. Pettersson to it. Passes back into the Leaf zone, but right onto the tape of Hull. He'll send it over to his partner, Mark Giordano. Up the left wing he goes. Back to Hull, right side. Throws it through center. Russ deflected that. Zucker picks it up. Hits Malkin. Over the line. Right wing circle back across. Over Russ' stick. Zucker tried to center. That was picked off by Bunting. He's tied up by Malkin in the neutral zone, but gets around Joseph. Bunting on the far side. Lost an edge. Slaps it to the net. All alone in front. Matthews turns, fires, and scores. And Austin Matthews with a dagger from Toronto. 5:24 to go. It's 4-1 Leafs.
Here's the difference on this goal. Evgeny Malkin's coming back with Austin Matthews all the way to the front of the net. Gino goes for a big parking lot turn towards the boards, thinking he's going to get on the offense. Austin Matthews stops in front of the net. And just an incredible effort by Bunting to get enough on it as he's falling down just to throw it towards the front of the net. Gino sees what's happening, tries to hit the brakes and get back. By then, no chance. Matthews all by himself. No chance for Casey DeSmith. 4-1 leads.
3-point night here for Austin Matthews. 2 assists and now a goal. He's back into double digits. 60 a year ago. Up to 10 now. Pierre Engvall back in his own end. 5 minutes to play in this one. Toronto with a 4-1 lead that sucked a lot more of the air out of this building. This is played up into the netting in the Penguins zone, and whistle stops play with 4:58 to go. Toronto 4, Pittsburgh 1 on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Have yourself
generation
merry little Christmas
after generation.
Let your heart be light.
Of country artists to deck the halls with traditional
Walking in a winter wonderland.
and contemporary sounds to make the season bright.
And I love to watch you glow.
Country Christmas, now on Sirius XM Channel 55 and the SXM app.
Historic hockey moments.
301 days since the hit on Chris Draper.
The Colorado Avalanche at the Detroit Red Wings, March 26, 1997, brawl in Hockey Town.
Now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux. And look who came all the way out to try to help. Patrick Roy. Oh my goodness. Vernon and Roy. They are on their feet here at Joe Louis Arena.
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
November 26, 2005, the New York Rangers win 3-2 over the Washington Capitals in the longest NHL shootout at the time, and it was an unlikely hero that emerged for the Blue Shirts in the 15th round with a highlight for the ages.
Malik has not scored this year. In on Kolzig. Fake the Darts! Oh, Malik went between his legs!
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
SchneiderDowns.com/careers.
4 minutes, 58 seconds left in regulation. Toronto holding a 4-1 lead over the Penguins. We want to remind you to keep it tuned right here for Penguins Live postgame, which follows us. Brian Metzer and Paul Steigerwald will give you a recap of this game. And you'll hear from Pens head coach Mike Sullivan, Penguins players, all coming up on Penguins Live postgame presented by Rivers Casino. Casey DeSmith looks on for the face-off to his right, won by Pontus Holmberg. Comes back to the left point for Sandin. His slapper off the end wall, rolls right atop the crease. Engvall with a redirect, and DeSmith stopped that. Comes to the far corner. Jan Ruda overskates the puck there, able to regather himself. Passes right wing corner for Dumoulin. Back to Ruda. His pass through center, misses McGinn, no icing. Sandin off the end wall for Liljegren. Feeds it forward for Engvall. Tries to clear, bumped into there. Heinen trying to pitchfork it free right by the Leafs bench. There's about 4 bodies tied up there trying to get it free. Engvall and Holmberg for the Leafs. Dumoulin and Heinen for the Penguins. Dumoulin finally does punch it deeper into the Toronto zone. Sandin swings it out through center. That's out of the reach of Holmberg, and that is down for icing against Toronto with 4:06 on the clock.
I'll be honest with you, Josh. I don't think I've seen the Leafs in a very long time play as disciplined a game in so many different levels, right?
I agree.
Mostly defensively. And I talked to Craig Simpson in my 2-minute interview, and he said, he brought up a good point. He got me thinking that sometimes you need this adversity of having, 4 of your top 5 defensemen, 3 of your top 4, however you want to word it, out of the lineup to make you play better defensively, because that's really where it started for me for the Leafs. They've just really been good defensively, good decision making, and they brought their lunch pail.
Penguins in the attacking end. It's Gensel behind the net. Gets it to Crosby near corner. Tries to go back to the point. He does connect with Pettersson right wing. Back to Crosby. A snapshot, change direction off the stick of Raquel, kicked out by the right pad of Eric Shalgren. Pens will push it around to the near corner. It's Pettersson spinning off a check, pushes it down low. Kampf intercepts, but turns it over to Pettersson. Into the right circle, Raquel's shot blocked by Sandin, picked up by Engvall. He springs Aston Reese, watched by Letang, down the left wing, wrist shot, right pad save from DeSmith. Letang picks up the puck, skates out of his own zone. Across the red line, now pivots back into his own end, watched by Dennis Malgin. Lost the handle on the puck. Comes back to the near corner with it. Bumped off the puck by Malgin. Kampf with it behind the net. Passes back to the point. Hall on the right side for Kampf. Slams it back down low. Malgin to it. Run into by Pettersson. Knocked off the puck. Comes back to the point. Giordano will snap it back around in the far corner. Aston Reese down low for Dennis Malgin. Centering pass comes back to Giordano. He'll wind it. Blast kicked out by the left pad of DeSmith.
Even at 39, he can still bring it, Giordano.
Oh, yeah. Teddy Bluger back in his own end with 2.5 to go. He'll start back up ice towards the Toronto zone. Dumps it in, but not deep. It's Giordano. Out to the neutral zone once more. Swatted out there by Petrie. Rolls in the slot. Yarncroke to the far wall where it's passed ahead by Toronto. Marner out through the neutral zone. Rolls down in on DeSmith. He'll play it with the paddle over to P.O. Joseph. Back behind the net. Feeds it right side to Petrie. Out of his own end, left side to Joseph, across center red, dumps it in. It rattles around on the near side wall. Tavares back down low to Mete. In the far corner, turns it over. It's Rust centering pass, skips back to the left point. Joseph back down low to Rust in the far corner, hopped off his stick. Marner steals it away, backhands near side, picked off by Petrie, throws it through the blue paint. No sticks there for the Penguins, and it comes back out to center. Joseph, left side for Rust. Stick handles through the neutral zone. Feeds Zucker over the line. Back to Rust. Right wing circle across for Malkin. He had him back door, but a good stick by Marner broke up the feed. Petrie on the right wing wall. Pressured there by Yarncroke. Chops it away from the Toronto forward. Down for Malkin. Right side to Rust. Missed the net by about 30 feet as it goes to the far wall. Picked up by Petrie. His blast blocked atop the crease. Picked up by Tavares, and he'll clear it out to center. 1:08 to go. Brian Dumoulin back in his own zone. Skates straight ahead. Crosses the red line. Dumps it in. Bounces to the right of Shalgren behind the net. Sandin picks it up there. Off the end wall. Connects there to Mac Hollowell. He'll pass to Holmberg, who steers it in the Penguin zone. Engvall swats it one hand on his stick onto Smith. He'll play it. Root up the right wing wall for McGinn. Back to Dumoulin. Hits Carter right side. Stick handles around Holmberg. Over the line left side to Heinen. Back across for McGinn. Shoots. Right pad save from Shalgren. And Eric Shalgren has made some good stops in this game. That might be the final one there with 35.6 seconds to go.
No, he's been really good, Josh. We talk so much of how good the Leafs have been in front of him, and they have been. But when they've given up a quality opportunity, Shalgren's been there.
Yep. Agreed.
And not to take anything away from Shalgren, but I think the Penguins allowed him to settle in. You know, they got to him before. He doesn't have great numbers in the National Hockey League in the few games that he's played, but he settled in early, and he's been really good.
Leafs controlling the attacking end. It's Aston Reese passing across ice. Collected there by Ricard Raquel. He'll make his way through center with 17 seconds on the clock. Over the line. Drops it left wing for Crosby. Down low to Gensel in front. Raquel had it bounce away from him. Loose on the near side wall. Pettersson for Gensel. Right circle. Raquel blasts one right into the stomach of Shalgren. And there's the exclamation point as he will hold on to it. And a face-off coming up to his left.
That was just about do it. Everything but the crying here.
Sidney Crosby to take the face-off against David Kampf. Crosby wins the draw. Letang at the right point. A wrist shot that's blocked. Goes right wing. Turned and fired by the Penguins. The horn will sound. And the 5-game win streak for Pittsburgh comes to a halt here tonight at PPG Paints Arena as Toronto wins the regular season series with a 4-1 win over the Pens. We're back to recap this game when we come back on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's a great day. That's a phrase we are accustomed